Good morning, everyone. If you're new here, my name is Brian Craig. This is going to be a rough day. Brandon Straka is what I'm going to talk about at first. The founder of the WalkAway movement, arrested by the F.B.I. for the, in regards to the Capitol breach. And there's more too, but we're coming on the air, so I don't have time to get into it right now. But if you're new here, make sure you subscribe, and you'll hear all the topics here on the show. Subscribe, and you'll hear all the topics here on the show. Subscribe, and you'll hear all the topics. All right, here we go.
You're listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-COCAINE 1. That's 1-888-COCAINE 1. And now.
All right, good morning, everyone. Yes. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show. That's right, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. And this, of course, yes, the longest-running radio show in Florida. You heard that right, and we say that with pride. Many have challenged that. I get calls from time to time, people challenging me on that claim that we make, and it's a challenge that just ain't going to be beat. I'm sorry, guys. This is the longest-running radio show in Florida. Welcome, and all craziness is going on right now. I was shocked when I woke up this morning. First thing I do when I wake up is I grab my iPhone while I'm in bed, go to the news instantly before I get out of bed, and I was shocked to read that Brandon Straka, the founder of the WalkAway movement, was arrested. And I saw it in a conservative news site. I'm like, this just cannot be. So I went to the Fox News website because I figure, well, this is national news. And I didn't see it on the Fox News website, and I didn't believe it right away. I was like, I got to have some confirmation on this. It wasn't on the Fox News website. Now, again, this was early this morning. It may be there now as I'm speaking. I'm talking about a few hours ago. I've been up for about 4 hours. Then I just did a Google News search, and boom, it came up. Brandon Straka, the founder of the WalkAway movement, has been arrested by the F.B.I. In Omaha. Apparently he lives in Omaha. I wonder what that's like, because he used to be in New York. Now he's in Omaha. I can't imagine. But anyway, listen. This is KETV Channel 7 News out of Omaha. And any place I've seen the story elsewhere is a reprint of this original local news story at KETV Channel 7. So I'm going to read the original news story on this. And if updates come in throughout the show, feel free to call me. This is frightening stuff. I'm going to read to you the article, okay, from the website. These are not my words or anything. I'm actually going to be reading from KETV Channel 7 ABC News, Omaha, Nebraska's website. The FBI arrested an Omaha man for his actions during the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. Brandon Straka, age 44, was arrested by Monday by agents from the FBI Omaha field office, according to a report from the FBI. Brandon Straka faces charges of impeding a law enforcement officer during civil disorder, knowingly entering and remaining on restricted grounds without lawful authority, and or engaging in disorderly conduct within proximity to a restricted building to impede official functions, and engaging in disorderly conduct with intent to disturb a hearing before Congress. Boy, that's the longest sentence I've ever read. Court documents show that officials were tipped off about Brandon Straka posting a video near the Capitol entrance, shouting in the video, "Go, go!" The video was later removed. Officials say they could not find any video or post on Brandon Straka's Twitter page relating to his actions at the Capitol. However, the FBI was sent multiple screenshots. These screenshots reportedly revealed that Brandon Straka made the following comments on Twitter on January 6th. These are all tweets. And these are tweets that were made during the when people are climbing the walls and the breach is taking place. By the way, your comments on this are welcome at 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. Okay, now these, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 tweets that are in this story that they used as evidence to arrest WalkAway founder Brandon Straka. Here's the first tweet. And these are all Brandon Straka's words. Quote, "Patriots at the Capitol, hold the line," 4 exclamation marks and quotations. Second tweet of Brandon Straka's, "I arrived at the Capitol a few hours ago as patriots were storming from all sides. I was quite close to entering myself as police began tear gassing us from the door. I inhaled tear gas and it got in my eyes. Patriots began exiting shortly after, saying Congress had been cleared." So this tweet shows that Brandon Straka is saying in his tweet that he was going through the Capitol door and being tear gassed, and it didn't stop him. He continued on. His next tweet is, again, these are all tweets that the FBI put together from Brandon Straka. Quote here, next, third tweet, "I'm completely confused. For 6 to 8 weeks, everybody on the right's been saying 1776. And that if Congress moves forward, it will mean a revolution. So Congress moves forward, patriots storm the Capitol. Now everybody is virtual signaling their embarrassment that this happened." Next tweet. "Also, be embarrassed and hide if you need to, but I was there. It was not Antifa at the Capitol." This is Brandon Straka from WalkAway. This is his tweet. "It was not Antifa at the Capitol. It was freedom-loving patriots who were desperate to fight for the final hope of our republic, because literally nobody cared about them. Everyone else can denounce them. I will not." His fifth and final tweet, quote, this is Brandon Straka, "Perhaps I missed the part where it was agreed this would be a revolution of ice cream cones and hair braiding parties to take our government back from lying, cheating, globally interest, swamp, parasites. My bad." Okay, those are his tweets. Multiple unnamed witnesses sent videos to the FBI that reportedly showed Brandon Straka outside the Capitol shouting, quote, "We're going in and go, go." According to documents, one video showed an officer from the United States Capitol Police holding a protective shield. As individuals pushed past the officer toward the entrance of the U.S. Capitol, the officer held his shield up in the air, the report states. According to documents, Brandon Straka is heard shouting, quote, "Take it away from him." And others in the crowd then yelled, "Take the shield." So he's encouraging the crowd to steal the shield from a U.S. Capitol Police officer. As several people in the crowd grabbed the officer's shield, Brandon Straka yelled, quote, take it," unquote. Officials learned that Brandon Straka was a self-described former liberal, founder of the WalkAway campaign. The campaign website described the campaign as a grassroots movement founded by Brandon Straka in 2018. The website states that the campaign encourages and supports those on the left to walk away from the divisive tenets endorsed and mandated by the Democrat Party of today. Brandon Straka, as of the time of this story, which was about 20 minutes after 7 p.m. last night, I lost my place. Straka, as of last night at around 7:19 Eastern Time, Brandon Straka remains in federal custody. His initial appearance will be in federal court on Tuesday, today. So he's going to be today in federal court for a hearing, I guess a bail hearing. More than 125 people have been arrested so far on charges related to the violent insurrection led by supporters of former President Donald Trump at the Capitol, where a Capitol police officer and 4 others were killed. Charges from the riot range from curfew violations to serious federal felonies related to theft and weapons possession. Okay. Now, everything I just shared, I did a little commentary there, but everything I just shared with you is from KETV.com. The headline says, Omaha FBI agents arrest founder of WalkAway campaign for actions during U.S. Capitol attack. I did tweet the story if you would like to read it yourself. Now, before I go to the calls, and I do want to take your calls on this, at 1-888-GO-KANE-1, that's K-A-N-E and the number 1, 888-465-2631. A couple things here, and I want to say something to our listeners. This is America, and everyone is presumed innocent until proven guilty, okay? But the language in these tweets okay? The language in these tweets of Brandon Straka's that are in this news story are very similar to things that I heard people saying as the breach was happening. And the breach was wrong and a complete criminal action that should not have happened, and shame on anyone who took part in it. I know a lot of these people got wrapped up in the moment and did a lot of crazy things, but they still did it. If what is being said here is true, and they do have evidence of it because everybody's videotaping everything, it sounds like Brandon Straka is guilty as hell. I don't know what the final charges should be, but it looks like he is guilty of some things here. And what conservatives in the MAGA movement, what we have to be careful of is not act like liberals. And what I mean by that is, don't defend someone's criminal actions just because we are in political agreement of them. Brandon Straka has done so much good in these last couple of years since he formed this incredible movement, WalkAway. And it looks like he's destroyed his whole movement by going in through the door while he and others are being tear gassed. I don't know why he would do this. You know, and his movement, he said, Brandon Straka, who was there, who went inside, who was tear gassed, and even while being tear gassed, continued to go inside according to his own tweets. He said in one of those tweets, it was not Antifa. Man, now we can't take that as, well, there was no Antifa there, because we know at least one guy that got arrested was. But Brandon Straka has destroyed himself in the WalkAway movement, will never be the same. And, you know, Brandon Straka's arrest probably, you know, he's connected to, this really upsets me, okay? And I'm really upset at Brandon Straka. And I know some of you might be upset with me about this, but he is a very important member of the MAGA movement. He's connected to the president directly because of this great WalkAway movement. And what they're going to do with this Brandon Straka event is probably use it against the president in this impeachment trial. Now, I know they don't have the votes to do much, even according to Biden. But you know, when you wear a MAGA hat, a MAGA shirt, or you're carrying a MAGA flag, and you don't have a huge organization like Brandon Straka, you're representing President Trump. And you should behave as such. Boy, oh boy. I want to take your calls. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE1. Ed Brown, $5 super sticker. Thank you, Ed Brown. 888-465-2631. And by the way, if you agree or disagree with me, give me a call. I want to hear from people on both sides of this. Breaching the Capitol was wrong. And I would be very disappointed with any conservatives, any MAGA people, who think that that was right. That was wrong. And the people that took part in it committed crimes. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry to tell you that. I was very upset about it. When I was watching that, I was pissed. Maybe, you know, I said the next day, maybe Antifa broke the doors down, but a lot of our people went in. And one of them was Brandon Straka. And I'm very disappointed in him, and I'm upset at Brandon Straka, because the WalkAway movement is so important, and he's the face of it. And he's a representative of the MAGA movement. He's a representative of his great organization that he founded, and he screwed up. You know, and it doesn't matter if Antifa planned it and organized it. We don't know that that's true, but say they did. Did they make Brandon Straka go inside? I don't think so. It doesn't sound that way to me. All right, listen, I'm going to take our first break of the day. I'll come back with your calls. If you're on hold, stand by. I will go to the calls immediately after the break. 1-888-GO-CANE1, 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops.
The original Tea Party. Okay, I'll talk about that when we get back.
Just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. Price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good use.
Yeah, but on his tweets that he deleted that they found, I'll get to all this after the break.
Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
This is Steve Kane, and I wanted to share with you some thoughts about why I chose the Gardens of Boca Raton to be my final resting place.
Oh, boy.
I've always been uncomfortable with thoughts of death and dying, but the very first time that I visited the Gardens of Boca Raton, I could feel my apprehensions vanish. Just knowing that I'd be spending eternity with my family in such magnificent surroundings lifted my spirits. The Gardens of Boca Raton is an all-faith, above-ground cemetery with tranquil surroundings, a place where your loved ones can come and visit you time and time again, remembering and celebrating your life. The gardens had caring professionals available to help you in your time of need.
If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. I'm going to come back and go to the phones,
0% financing,
as I said I would do.
Prevents your family from having to deal with these matters at the time of their grief and sorrow. The Gardens of Boca Raton, dedicated to all those who have lived and all those who live today. Let the Gardens take care of your family as they're taking care of my family. Schedule a tour today. Call 877-PLAN-561 or online at thegardens.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. I'm going to go right to the phones. If you're just tuning in, Brandon Straka, the founder of the WalkAway movement, was arrested by the FBI yesterday in Omaha, Nebraska, for taking part in the Capitol breach. I'm going to go right to the phones to hear your thoughts on what happened. I know a lot of people in the YouTube live chat room are making comments. I'll take calls. And on either side of this, call in. I mean, to me, breaking in was wrong and criminal. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Brian, what's up? This is Wellington. How's it going?
All right.
I just working. Sorry about that. Yeah, I was just going to say that. I don't really disagree or agree with Brandon Struck, but you have to think he came from being a liberal. So he might have been used to being able to get away with all that, you know?
Oh, okay. So we're going to blame it on it was a slip of his liberalism?
I respect his movement, and I understand it, and I understand his anger, too, because, I mean, like you said, just like he put in his tweet.
No, it's not our last chance. You know, somebody in the chat room on YouTube Live said, so was the first Boston Tea Party illegal? Yes. Yes, it was. They were... You know, it was theft and vandalism and destruction of private property. I'm not saying that was the wrong thing to do, but these people that continue to compare themselves to the Revolutionary War heroes, okay, of the 1760s and 70s, back then we didn't have a country, okay, and there was no and the American colonist had no representation. That was the whole thing, right? No taxation without representation. They had no representation. And that went on for many years, including Benjamin Franklin himself traveling to Parliament, where they reprimanded him in a humiliating fashion, asking to give the colonies a voice in Parliament, which they wouldn't have. So you cannot compare today, where we have a functioning representative government, to the Boston Tea Party era. There's no comparison whatsoever. And yes, those were crimes. If the war would have been lost, they all would have been tried and hung for treason.
By far, for sure. I understand the distinction between the two, but I mean, in reality standpoint, what would a revolution look like in
There's no revolution going on here. What happened what happened at the Capitol breach was wrong, and there were different levels of crimes committed. This one guy with the zip ties, who's going to see some of the harshest charges. What the hell was he planning on doing with the zip ties?
I mean, it's easy to speculate. It's easy to speculate from after the fact. But, I mean, it's also easy to defect our own people, to make them...
Well, we can't do what Democrats do. Democrats defend people regardless of what they do just because they're Democrats. It's like the days of the O.J. trial. Every caller on hold was a black caller defending O.J., and they would say, yes, of course he killed Ron and Nicole, but white people have been getting away with murdering blacks for 400 years, so it's justified. That's not what MAGA's about.
No, I agree. And like I said, I was one of the people there, and I never went in. I wasn't an imbecile.
Exactly. I mean, Brandon Straka here, I'm very upset with him. I mean, not that he cares that I'm upset with him, but, but I'm upset with him because he is a high-profile representative of the MAGA movement. And for him to behave this way, he's destroyed his movement. His movement may never recover from this. They got kicked off of Facebook. I'm going to let you go because of the backing up noise there. They got kicked off Facebook, and that's a terrible thing. But it may have had something to do with this. Now, I saw Brandon Straka on Newsmax several times talking about his group Without Notice being removed from Facebook. I don't know what the timing of that was. Was it after the breach? I don't know. But maybe that's why it was removed. I don't know. Now let's take some more calls. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hello.
Yes. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Mark.
Hey, Mark.
From Deerfield.
Hey, Mark. All right. I'm upset.
The same way. The minute I found out about that, I was like, "What are these idiots doing? Raiding the Capitol?" I mean, we were there to get our case heard, and because of that, we didn't get to present any of the evidence.
Well, that doesn't mean you can break in places, and this idea that, well, this is our house. First off, that is not true. That phrase is applied to the White House, by the way, the people's house, not the Congress, but it is not a place where you can just freely go for all kinds of reasons. And Brandon Straka, in these tweets that he deleted, was talking about how he was being tear gassed, and he continued forward. Listen. I'm upset at those. I've been upset since that happened, and I've been upset. I'm not upset at the Democrats, the media, Antifa, or Pence. I'm upset at the MAGA, and even if Antifa organized it and burst the door down, I'm upset at the MAGA people like Brandon Straka who went in the damn building. They screwed everything up for us. And that is going to forever follow the MAGA movement, and it's going to always follow President Trump and the entire Trump family, and they did, and they don't want to admit they did something wrong. Those that went in, but they did, and they've screwed everything. Don Jr. might have been president one day, and maybe he will, but this action is always going to be used against him and President Trump.
Could have done. Our people should have policed the movement, and if Antifa was the instigators, which I do believe they were, they should have stopped them from doing this. How I feel.
Exactly. Now I know there's some people there that were, like the one guy in the MAGA hat that tried to get the cops to intervene. And when Brandon Straka, in his deleted tweets that they've uncovered, he said it was us, not Antifa. That was Straka, and he was there. I mean, what the hell? I'm
disappointed too, Brian. I saw Brandon. I actually met Brandon.
Yeah.
Twice, and I actually met him. Real nice guy, great movement. But our people should not have taken part in any of that. I feel the same way.
When I go out and about, okay, like if I'm out somewhere, out in public. And I've got I give you a great example. When we had our last Steve Kane listener cruise, and we took a tour deep inside Mexico, an hour from the port, and many people in our group, including myself and my daughter, were wearing Trump gear in Mexico. We were on extra good behavior. And we talked about it, some of us, because because we're wearing MAGA gear, because Trump's name and Make America Great Again are on our clothing, we're representatives of his. In effect, the way we behave is a reflection on him. And Brandon Straka screwed up, and he's not alone.
Yeah, I really wish he hadn't done that. Real nice guy, great movement, but
the movement's going to be gone now because the movement is him. Well, the movement, sadly, he's the face of the movement. And the WalkAway movement is so important. And because of COVID, over the last year, it never really got to its full potential because there was very little get-togethers, no rally, you know what I mean, and the WalkAway movement is I don't think it'll recover from this, and this Capitol breach, I'm guessing, is why Facebook removed them, because there was probably, they were gathering information from social media, obviously, that he was deleting. And the feds were, and that's probably why they took the group down, because he was a part of the breach, and he was bragging about it.
Yeah, he shouldn't have done that. None of our people should have done that. Ruined our whole chance to present the case and the evidence.
Well, look at this thing with Charlottesville. They've been showing us Charlottesville for years now. Oh, like it's us, which is absurd. Okay, and we've had to defend that wasn't MAGA people. There weren't any MAGA shirts in Charlottesville. It wasn't Trump, and he didn't say anything inappropriate. Trump, but they still use. This is different. These are people wearing Trump's clothing as they went in and did this, and it doesn't matter if Antifa organized it and started it. People like Brandon Straka in our movement. I hope there's not any other high-profile people. He's a celebrity. I hope there's not any other celebrity-type people that went in there.
I hope he can recover from it, Brian. I hope that his movement can recover.
Well, how can you cover? The movement may be able to, but it depends on what he did when he got in. How far he got.
It doesn't sound like he really did anything, but just the same. Like,
well, he went. He was being. He said he was being. He said he was being tear gassed. And they continue through the door, and everyone who's a Trump supporter knows who Brandon Straka is, and he's a leader. He's a leader. He's going in there like Matthew Broderick in Glory. Come on over the hill, like he's leading soldiers. If you read his tweets, it's stupid. Most crime is stupid, but it's still a crime.
It was very stupid. I agree.
All right, I appreciate the call. Thanks so much. Let me take one more call, then we'll break. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm not good. I'm very upset about this.
To give a little twist on this, okay? Have you ever heard of a Manchurian Candidate?
Of course.
Now, you know the premise of that. People can be brainwashed, hypnotized, or whatever they use with drugs and stuff that make them do what they do not want to do. And by the way, most people can be hypnotized, believe it or not, and made to do things that they would never really do. For example...
So are you suggesting that Brandon Straka and the MAGA people were hypnotized?
That Brandon guy was. I don't know what the rest of the MAGA...
Hypnotized. Okay, he was hypnotized by what? So Brandon Straka, who you're suggesting that he was hypnotized and brainwashed by someone to break into the Capitol. Who did this and for what purpose?
No, they knew he was going there. Okay, there's a lot of people in the think tank. You think that all these people are just like you, and honest, little, real citizens that are innocent. We have a lot of psychiatrists and other people and real deep CIA members that know how to run it.
Okay, so you think Brandon Straka was somehow hypnotized by deep state operatives to take part in the breach of the U.S. Capitol to soil the reputation of President Trump and the MAGA movement, that he's not responsible for his actions? What are you saying?
No, he's responsible for his actions, but he was programmed to do those actions.
He was programmed?
Put that into the formula that a Manchurian Candidate...
Well, I've seen the movie many, many times. Not the awful remake, by the way. We're talking about the Frank Sinatra, Angela Lansbury classic. I've seen the movie. Okay, okay. But where are you getting this story that Brandon Straka programmed by someone to do something that he otherwise would not do. By the way, that would make him not responsible for his actions.
Besides, what they're trying to do is make Maga look bad. They don't care about him as long as he does a few little things. They don't worry about him. They don't even care if he gets off total.
No, but Brandon Straka is probably, and now this, I'm just making this number up because I haven't put this together, this list yet. But when you get outside of the Trump family and elected officials, right? Brandon Straka is probably one of the 20 most well-known MAGA activists in America, right? I mean, he's got to be in the top 20, right? You got like Candace Owens, and you got a lot. There's a lot of them there. Maybe he's even like 15 or 10th, but without even putting together a list, he's in the top 15 or 20 most prominent MAGA activists in America. And I don't buy this idea that somebody took him and by the way, to program someone to do that would take a lot of time. It's not something you can do in 5 minutes. I don't think he was kidnapped and taken to some CIA black site and brainwashed and programmed, to see the Jack of Hearts or whatever, the Queen of Hearts, to go into to use your Manchurian Candidate thing, to go into the Capitol building. I think that's insanity to even suggest that.
For a second, and before you totally throw the baby out with the water. The point is, when you hypnotize somebody like that, the Manchurian Candidate was totally normal, remember? Until he got the password or the code.
But that's a movie. You're taking a movie with Frank Sinatra and...
But this is a real thing. You don't understand that.
Maria, $5 super chat. Thank you.
They do this. They even do it to double agents. So when a double agent is captured, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, when a double agent is captured, they could peel his skin off and have firecrackers up his...
Okay.
They will not change his mind, but the more they do that, the more his hypnotized man says, don't talk.
But you're just so where are you getting this evidence that this is so pathetic of you? This is what Democrats do. When Democrats, like for example, there's a lot of talk that Antifa is not criticized by Biden and Kamala Harris, right? Even though they're doing all this stuff even now out in Oregon, right? Aren't you doing something very similar with Brandon Straka? Brandon Straka, he said, let me pull up the article. These are his tweets, okay? This is during the breach. Patriots at the Capitol, hold the line. I arrived at the Capitol a few hours ago as patriots were storming from all sides. I was close to entering myself as police began tear gassing us from the door. I inhaled tear gas, it got in my eyes. Patriots began exiting shortly after saying Congress had been cleared. Okay? It was not Antifa at the Capitol, he says. It was freedom-loving patriots. That means MAGA people.
Of course he's going to say that. That's the point of the whole Manchurian Candidate thing. And the other thing is, you know what the zip ties were for? Taking hostages.
That's right. Exactly. Thank God that guy got busted. You're opposed to that, right? Was he programmed too?
Who knows?
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
I'm not saying he was necessarily programmed. You only need 2 or 3 programmed people to turn your tide. This one guy alone and nobody else has convinced you and most of your audience that Donald Trump made a big mistake by allowing him to...
See this, somebody mentioned this in the chat room. You know, the reason I've been talking, if Trump has a third party, the reason I want to call it a MAGA party and not a Patriot party is because of the breach. I was watching the breach. I was on television and I was watching short videos on Twitter while it was happening. And in other places. And people were doing what Straka is doing. They were calling themselves patriots and calling the others committing this crime patriots. And calling and using patriot is a good thing, but not right now. You know, it's like nationalism's a good thing now, but it wasn't a good thing in 38. You know what I mean? You know, but I mean that. You know, so calling. You know, this is bad. And Brandon Straka, I got a break. I'm very late for the break. Thanks for the call. I'm sorry, I ran late. We'll be right back. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show. We're taking our bottom of the hour break. 7 minutes late. We'll be right back.
Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to any lab test now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
You're all welcome to call in, by the way. 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631 on either side of the issue.
It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work.
I'm taking the calls in the order in which they were received, screenless.
So do what I did. Go over to any lab test now of Coral Springs. They give great rates for Steve Kane listeners, and tell them we sent you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
Hi, this is George Corey of the Soul Authority. In this time of social distancing and sheltering in place, many people have been forced to neglect their feet. We at the Soul Authority are making it possible for you to still take care of your feet while remaining in your home, as we will send a doctor to your house for all of your podiatric needs. The best part of all is that Medicare pays for this visit. So, if you're a Medicare recipient, give the Soul Authority a call today at 954-597-7060. That's 954
All right, we're coming back.
597-7060. Don't let social distancing stop you from taking care of your feet. Call the Soul Authority today.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for www.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. 40 minutes after 6, or it will be in about 30 seconds, 20 to 7. I'm Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. If you're just tuning in, the founder of the WalkAway movement, Brandon Straka, was arrested yesterday by the F.B.I. He'll be in front of a federal judge today, and he was arrested for his involvement in the Capitol breach. There is video and that others have taken of him that was used to get a warrant for his arrest. He took part in the breach and encouraged others to do so. We're talking about that on the program today. The call before the break was just strange. A caller believes that Brandon Straka, like in the Manchurian Candidate with Frank Sinatra and Angela Lansbury, has been kidnapped by deep state operatives who brainwashed him to take part in this action, which is just very strange to think such a thing. I'm taking the calls on this. I want to keep the calls focused on Straka and the breach, okay, right now. But I am taking the calls screenless in the order in which they were received. But please keep the conversation on topic. And also, if you're on hold, please listen on your phone. Don't listen if you're listening on the radio or a computer or another device. There is a delay, and when I go to you, you could be a minute behind. So whatever you're listening to us on, when you're on hold, please mute that device and just listen on your phone. So when I go to you, you hear me right away. All right, 1-888-GO-KANE1 is our number. 1-888-465-2631. Good morning. You're on the radio. Here we go. Good morning. You're on the air. Is what I was talking about. See, yes, go ahead. Marty, go ahead, Marty. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Texas.
Hey, how you doing, Marty, in Texas?
I just want to say that, from what I heard, this is news to me too, and I'm against it. I'm way against it. But when the tear gas happened.
He was trying to get to the door, but was pushed back by tear gas, it says, yes, and the crowd running out.
That doesn't mean that he got through the door. We have to presume him innocent.
Well, hold on a second here. Hold on a second. While everybody is presumed innocent in a court of law until they're proven guilty in that court, that doesn't go for the court of public opinion, okay? There's a different standard, okay? But here we go. Listen to this, okay? You don't have to have gone through the door to have taken part in the breach. There is a secure area around the building, including the steps and everything else, the Capitol steps, that you are not permitted to go on. So people had broken through a security barrier far out from the building. That's taking part in the breach too.
There were security guards that were waving people in on the steps.
Mm-hmm. I have seen that video. Yeah.
How this plays out.
Well, the reality is this: if I were there, I wouldn't have violated any security area. I would have gotten out of. I would have been there probably with my daughter, and I would have gotten the hell out of there. Okay, and anyone who went beyond the secure, like for example, you said he didn't make it in the building, which is true. Those guys that were climbing up on the wall outside, maybe they didn't make it in the building, but climbing the walls, well, that's part of the crime.
Yeah, I agree. That was all wrong, but I hope he didn't go in. That's all I'm saying.
I am so. This happened on the 6th, so it happened 20 days ago. It'll be 3 weeks tomorrow. And from the moment it happened, when I first realized what was happening is on Twitter, I saw the pictures of the people inside the chamber, and I couldn't believe it. And I have been so angry at our people that went in since then, because they've screwed us, President Trump, the Trump family, and anyone connected with Trump for many years to come. Because remember, Biden started his campaign with a Charlottesville video, right? That had nothing to do with President Trump. Nothing to do with it. And he said nothing wrong in that chart. He said, and I'm not talking about the white supremacists and the neo-Nazis, those should be condemned, but they edit that out, right? Because it doesn't fit their narrative. These people that were climbing the walls and went in that building may not have all been Trump people, might have been undercover people. I ran into undercover guy trying to start a thing at Mar-a-Lago the other day. Remember, I was talking about this last week on the show. But our people like Brandon Straka went through the security. Many of them went in the building wearing the president's name on their clothing. They screwed us all. When they did that.
Right, it's wrong. That's all there is.
It's not just wrong and highly criminal. They have done damage to our movement that we're gonna have to defend. We're gonna have to explain that for the rest of our lives. Anytime there's a MAGA person running, if Lara Trump runs for Congress, and I hope she does because she's so brilliant, they're going to use that in ads against her. If Eric Trump were to run for the Senate here in Florida, or a governor or mayor of New York City, they're going to run that. And it doesn't mean that the Trump family is responsible for it. They had nothing to do with it, but those people gave the other side a narrative that will forever be used against President Trump and the family and the MAGA movement.
I agree, but I just hope he didn't go.
I hope he didn't go in too. But here's the thing though. Here's the thing. Brandon Straka is different than most everybody else there in that he's a well-known person. Everyone knows who Brandon Straka is. Certainly the people there did, right? So if in these tweets, while it says he didn't go in the building, okay, his first Patriots at the Capitol, hold the line, and then he says other things too here, that's inciting of violence. That's inciting of an event, and being a well-known celebrity and leader in the movement, he very well could have been one of the people that incited people. Like, oh my goodness, there's Brandon Straka. I'm going to go. Brandon Straka's going. It must be okay. This is terrible. Terrible. He should have gotten the hell out of there, is what he should have done.
Yeah, the best thing everyone could have done is stay back.
Exactly.
But that's not what happened.
Yeah. Hey, listen, thank you for your call. Now, in other news today, if you're on hold, stand by. In other news today, the great Mike Lindell of MyPillow, sponsor here of the program, there's a lot of new things coming out about Mike Lindell. He's been banned permanently from Twitter. This just broke. If you've seen this morning, Mike Lindell permanently banned from Twitter. And then they have this terrible story. They're trying to soil his reputation that he had a secret relationship with this actress. A very detailed story. I saw it in the Daily Mail last week. He's suing the Daily Mail. The story completely fictitious. He's never met the actress or been to any of these places that were mentioned in the Daily Mail. Very bizarre. You know, and of course, MyPillow has been kicked out of Bed Bath & Beyond, Kohl's, and Wayfair. Can you believe this is outrageous? Mike Lindell, a great way to support Mike Lindell and the Maga movement. This guy's going through all of this because he's such a strong supporter of President Trump. Valentine's Day is right around the corner. There's just so many great items at MyPillow.com that make perfect Valentine's Day gifts for your Valentine or yourself, and you get incredible discounts when you use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. In fact, when you go to MyPillow.com, every special you see there, you can take advantage of when you use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. The MyPillow 100% Giza Cotton Dream Sheets, my wife and I have these ourselves. They come in many different colors. These are the best sheets I've ever had. And that the bottom sheet fits perfectly over the mattress on all four corners. You don't have to stretch and pull, you know, like you do on a lot of these sheets, and barely get it over the cover. It just fits. I can make the bed with one finger. That bottom sheet is amazing. Buy one set, get a second set free when you use the promo code KANE. The MyPillow towel set. When you use the promo code KANE, buy one set of MyPillow towels, get a second set free. The MyPillow bathrobes, which come in many different colors. I wore mine on the program on Friday. Many of you on YouTube saw it. That is the most comfortable, softest bathrobe I have ever worn. And I've worn some fancy bathrobes on our cruises and things like this where they have those fancy bathrobes. None of them are as light, as soft, as comfortable as the MyPillow bathrobe. A perfect Valentine's Day gift. Mine's gray. My wife's, hers is white. Got it for Valentine's Day. They come in other colors as well, including pretty and pink. When you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, save 30% off the MyPillow bathrobe. The brand new MyPillow throw blanket, save 30% off when you use the promo code KANE at checkout. There are other specials there too. I'll mention some of them. Oh yeah, don't let me forget about the weighted blanket. I got one of these for Steve. Steve loves that weighted blanket. You will stop tossing and turning all night long. And between having the MyPillow under your head and the MyPillow weighted blanket over your body, you're going to sleep more peacefully and soundly than you ever have. When you use the promo code KANE at MyPillow.com, 30% off the weighted blanket. There's many other specials too. Again, promo code KANE at checkout. And if you want to order by phone, the number to order by phone is 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. When you order by phone, make sure you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout to take advantage of all these great deals. All right, we're going to go right back to the phones. All the calls are screenless, but I'm asking that you stay on topic. If you're just tuning in, the founder of the WalkAway movement, which is such an important part of Maga, Brandon Straka, arrested by the F.B.I. in Omaha yesterday for taking part in the Capitol breach 3 weeks ago. And mixed feelings from our callers so far on what he did. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Good morning. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm not good. I'm very upset.
Well, this is Benjamin from Colorado.
Hey, Benjamin, how are you?
Good. So I'm just want to say something really quick. I'm a little biased because I've worked on a lot of legal things, and my bias is this: until they can authenticate hold on.
Are you okay?
Yeah, hold on. Sorry.
Okay, just morning clearing your throat. That's okay. Lovely sound over the radio.
or they can authenticate the videos actually of him, I hold my judgment.
Well, hold on a second here. We're not in a court of law. We're in the court of public opinion. So we have a different standard. And we don't reserve talking about legal issues and high-profile people facing legal troubles until the cases are resolved in court. You talk about them during the action, even, come on, that's ridiculous. And we don't want to, what I'm hearing from some of our, not all, but what I'm hearing from some of our great conservative MAGA people are excuses. The one guy, Brandon Straka, may have been hypnotized by the deep state to do this. You're finding it, well, we shouldn't talk about it until this is the, I'm hearing a lot of excuse making that is disappointing to me because we're the law and order people.
Okay.
Yeah? You okay?
Yeah, man.
Any comment? Okay, all right. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air. What's your name?
Okay, this is Katina from Baltimore.
Oh, hey, Katina. How you doing?
Okay, I wanted to say what you're doing and what you're saying is spot on. It's part of the remedy. But I just want to backtrack for a second. That the previous callers, a few callers back, was talking about conditioning. And we're all threatened with that because of the media, number one, and also because the left has been rewarded through their violence. No one has been held accountable, even the politicians. And I do disagree with you on one thing. We will recover from this because the problem with the conservatives, we're always on the defensive and we're always apologizing. There's nothing wrong with that, but we need to go on the offensive. For instance, you're apologizing and you're saying we shouldn't do this. That's great. That's a remedy. Now you take what the left had done this past summer, and what do we have? Biden and Kamala bailing them out and saying, basically encouraging the violence, as well as the media encouraging.
Yeah, and that's wrong, and they're criticized by all conservatives for doing so.
We need to pound it until it gets on the air, until everyone hears it. I mean, I confront people in social media and in chat rooms all the time, and they don't want to hear it. They just walk away from it, and they keep pounding on the offenses that they are taught to repeat, all the talking point offense. And we keep backing off with this defense. Oh, it's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong. Yeah, it's wrong, but we're remedying it. We can offer the excuses as to...
Yeah, well, part of the remedy is hold our people that went in there responsible. I don't care who organized it. That'll come out eventually. No organizer could get me to do that.
Exactly, but we also need to hold accountable the people on the left. The Democrats have never held accountable. And, and one other thing I just want to mention, it's all related. We keep talking about the next election and the one after that.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things, we can't talk about that, unfortunately, and that's just the way it is. All right? Let me take one more call before the top of the hour. Good morning. Good morning. You're on the air. Yes, you're on the air. What's your name? Yeah, go ahead, Dean. You're on the air.
Well, the only thing about everybody breaking into the Capitol, can you hear me?
I can hear you fine, yeah.
Well, it's actually a wonder more that didn't happen because when you...
All right. It doesn't matter what anyone did. There is no... listen. Let's think about what you people are saying. It doesn't matter what happened. Nothing justifies going through security and going into the Capitol building. This is not 1776. We have a representative government now. We didn't have representation then. You are not the original Tea Party people, okay? You're not John Adams, okay? I'm sorry. I know a lot of people think they are, but they're not. And going into the Capitol was wrong, and anyone who broke the security perimeter committed a crime. And by the way, that isn't just the people that went in the building, that's the people that went through the security outside too, and were doing some of the things they were doing out there. The people that went inside, of course, it's a different layer of crime. I'm going to take the break for the top. I'm going to recap this story for people that are just tuning in. Nothing justifies what happened at the Capitol. Nothing. And until you stop, if you're justifying that, stop criticizing Antifa. Don't criticize Antifa. And don't criticize Biden and Kamala for bailing them out of jail if you're going to back up what people did at the Capitol. What those people did at the Capitol screwed us in the MAGA movement. It was a betrayal to President Trump and the Trump family and the entire MAGA movement. Going in there with Trump flags as capes and MAGA hats and Trump shirts on and doing that, and this lunatic with the zip ties and all the rest. You know, for the rest of my days, I'm going to have to answer to that to people. That is going to stop good people in the MAGA movement from getting elected. Yeah, we'll get beyond it, but it still happened, okay? And nothing like that has happened in the modern era. And it happened, our people walked into the building. Our people went through the security. It doesn't matter if Antifa organized it and started it. Our people followed them, even if Antifa did it. So I'm going to take our break for the top. When we get back, I'm going to recap the story for people that are just tuning in, and we will take more of your calls at 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. 1 hour down, 2 to go. We'll be right back after this.
1370, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
This is Steve Kane, and I wanted to share with you some thoughts about why I chose the Gardens of Boca Raton to be my final resting place. I have always been uncomfortable with thoughts of death and dying, but the very first time that I visited the Gardens of Boca Raton, I could feel my apprehensions vanish.
John Adams is your 10th great-granddad? Well, you're still not him.
And such magnificent surroundings lifted my spirits. The Gardens of Boca Raton is an all-faith, above-ground cemetery with tranquil surroundings, a place where your loved ones...
Where's Richie? I'm sure maybe on hold, I don't know.
Remembering and celebrating your life. The Gardens have caring professionals available to help you in your time of need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Pre-need with 0% financing is available and prevents your family from having to deal with these matters at the time of their grief and sorrow. The Gardens of Boca Raton, dedicated to all those who have lived and all those who live today. Let the Gardens take care of your family as they are taking care of my family. Schedule a tour today. Call 877-PLAN-561 or online at thegardens.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Are you suffering from decreasing energy, poor libido, weight gain, a foggy mind, an unsatisfactory sex life, or any of the symptoms of the aging process? Good news, folks. These processes are completely reversible. With his 20 years of experience in age management medicine, Dr. Matez can offer safe, effective protocols that will work for everyone. The Boca Raton Center for Age Management offers hormone replacement therapies, intravenous therapies, peptide therapies, and a host of other cutting-edge modalities that rejuvenate the human body and give you back the vigor of youth. If you want to get back to feeling good, looking good, and functioning well, call Dr. Matez at the Boca Raton Center for Age Management at 561-953-5490. That's 561-953-5490. Or visit their website at brc4am.com. That's brc4am.com. for the Boca Raton Center for Age Management.
If you suffer with diabetes, there's a 25% chance that you'll develop a foot ulcer that can lead to severe health consequences, including amputation. At the Sole Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own therapeutic shoes and custom inserts. Medicare recipients are entitled to 1 pair of quality diabetic shoes and 3 custom
We're coming back, guys. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe.
554-597-7060.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of...
Martin Luther King was peaceful. Peaceful.
Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GO-GAIN-1. That's 1-888-GO-GAIN-1.
All right, welcome back. Hour number 2 has begun. I'm Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. Some very upsetting news. I started the first hour with this. Let me recap the news, and then I'll go back to the phones. There's only one opening on the board. Phones are very busy. People that are just turning on their radios. I want to share this story. I'm very upset about it. The founder of the WalkAway movement, Brandon Straka, arrested yesterday by the F.B.I. for what they say is his role in the Capitol breach. And this story is just kind of breaking. I'm going to read to you the story I read at the top at 6 because it's got a lot of detail. It's from a local television station, a local ABC affiliate in Omaha, where Brandon Straka was arrested by the FBI. KETV, Channel 7, ABC, Omaha. The FBI arrested an Omaha man for his actions during the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. Brandon Straka, founder of the WalkAway movement, was arrested Monday by agents from the FBI Omaha field office, according to an FBI report. Brandon Straka faces charges of impeding a law enforcement officer during civil disorder, knowingly entering and remaining on restricted grounds without lawful authority, and or engaging in disorderly conduct within proximity to a restricted building to impede official functions, and engaging in disorderly conduct with intent to disturb a hearing before Congress. Court documents show that officials were tipped off about Brandon Straka posting a video near the Capitol entrance shouting, quote, "Go, go," unquote. The video was later removed, and officials said they could not find any video or post on his Twitter page relating to his actions at the Capitol. However, the FBI was sent multiple screenshots. These screenshots reportedly revealed that Brandon Straka made the following comments on Twitter January 6th. There are 5 tweets of Brandon Straka's, which I'm going to read to you now. Here's the first, quote, now this is during the breach, as it was beginning, when you see the people outside climbing the walls and such. First Straka tweet, quote, "Patriots at the Capitol, hold the line," unquote. Second tweet, quote, this is Brandon Straka, "I arrived at the Capitol a few hours ago as patriots were storming from all sides. I was quite close to entering myself as police began tear gassing us from the door. I inhaled tear gas and got it in my eyes. Patriots began exiting shortly after, saying Congress had been cleared," unquote. So he didn't make it in the building, but he was close to the door, which means he went through the security perimeter up on the Capitol steps after those security perimeters outside were breached. And the only reason he didn't go in is he was pushed back by the tear gas from the cops. Here's his next tweet, Brandon Straka, quote, "I'm completely confused. For 6 to 8 weeks, everyone on the right has been saying 1776. And if Congress moves forward, it will mean a revolution. So Congress moves forward. Patriots storm the Capitol. Now everybody is virtual signaling their embarrassment that this happened," unquote. Here's his next tweet. "Also, be embarrassed and hide if you need to, but I was there." This is Brandon Straka. "But I was there. It was not Antifa at the Capitol. It was freedom-loving patriots who were desperate to fight for the final hope of our republic. because literally no one cares about them. Everyone else can denounce them. I will not, unquote. Here's the last tweet they have. Perhaps I missed the part where it was agreed this would be a revolution of ice cream cones and hair braiding parties to take our government back from lying, cheating, globally interested swamp parasites. My bad. Multiple unnamed witnesses sent videos to the FBI that reportedly showed Brandon Straka outside the Capitol shouting, quote, "We're going in!" and "Go, go!" According to documents, one video showed an officer from the United States Capitol Police holding a protective shield. As individuals pushed past the officer towards the entrance of the U.S. Capitol, the officer held his shield up in the air, the report states. According to, now this is a Capitol officer, he's got his shield up. According to documents, Brandon Straka is heard shouting, quote, "Take it away from him," talking about the shield from a police officer, unquote. And others in the crowd then yelled, "Take the shield," unquote. As several people in the crowd grabbed the officer's shield, Brandon Straka yelled, "Take it, take it." These are all in the court documents. Now, if all this turns out to be false, that's great. But I don't know about that's going to happen. Officials learned that Brandon Straka was a self-described former liberal and the founder of the WalkAway campaign. Straka remains in federal custody. His initial appearance in federal court will be today, and he's one of more than 125 people arrested on charges related to the breach. This is not good, and I'm pretty ticked off at him. I really am. I'm very not that Brandon Straka doesn't care if I'm ticked off and disappointed in him. He is a representative of the Maga movement. He is a representative of President Trump because of who he is and what he's done. And his WalkAway movement is a vital and very important movement. And if this is true, and it sounds true, I hope it's proven to be false. But if it's true, this is a major screw up on Brandon Straka's part. All right, let me go to the phones. 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. I've lost track of who's called when. I'm taking all the calls randomly and screenless, okay? But I do want the conversation to focus on Brandon Straka and what he's being accused of, not sidelined issues, all right? You're on the air. Good morning.
Hi.
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Jim, you're on the air.
Okay. I agree with you. I love the show like crazy. I get up early to listen to it. And so I agree with you on 95% of the time, but I do think that you're being too hard on people who got carried away and were not the first ones in there. And also, what about the idea that this may have been a Democratic Pelosi even involved in setting our people up?
So you're thinking Brandon Straka was sent in by a Democrat? He didn't do it on his own? He didn't break through the security perimeter on his own? He didn't make it into the building, according to his tweets, but he was trying, and he was close to the door and was pushed back by officers telling people to grab the shield of the Capitol Police officer? I thought Blue Lives mattered.
He is an important figure, and he's not the people I'm talking about. Because you're right. If him being a leader, he needed to not do that. He needed to have more sense than that. I agree with you there. But what about the FBI being involved in this? What is your opinion on?
Well, we don't know. Listen. We don't know because no one's investigating. There's a lot of arrests going on, and there really is no one looking into. I hope Project Veritas and Breitbart and groups like that are doing investigations. If Antifa and others organized it and broke the doors down, I hope we find out about it, and I want them all prosecuted too. But our people followed them. And Brandon Straka, who was there, said it was not Antifa. It was us. That's what he says in his tweets. It was not Antifa. I was there.
He needs special responsibility. I hope he didn't go in there because obviously I was a big...
Based on his tweets, he didn't make it through the door, but he breached the security perimeters outside and was trying to get to the door and told people to take a shield away from a police officer.
but he may have some issues there. But I want to do maybe a little bit of an absurd example. But what if somebody attacked you or something, and then a friend?
Yeah. That would be a crime. That would be a crime.
That I think you're being too hard on.
There's no excuse. There's no excuse. Listen. You're kind of playing both sides here. Well, Antifa, F.B.I, Pelosi, they were behind it, but our people that went in had good reason because of this. Either our people did it or didn't. Okay? No, you can't say, well, what if all these other people planned it, but our people that did it were good people with good intentions. You can't have it both ways.
I feel like I would have said, hey, I don't want to be involved with breaking laws and going in there. I know that's wrong. I would have been like you. But, hey, I got to ask you something else that's real.
Yeah.
The FBI, they were into doing bad things with the Russian investigation, but not with the FBI.
I know. We're Straka and Page are walking around with book deals like they own the damn place. You know, Peter Straka will probably get rehired. I wouldn't be surprised if Biden made Comey the FBI director again. Okay, you know. Okay, yeah. Of course, am I all of a sudden not a Trump? Because I don't support people busting into Congress with zip ties, I'm not a Trump guy? Is that what Trump's about? I don't think so. What do you think Trump thinks about Brandon Straka and the jerk with zip ties?
I think he feels like you. Absolutely, I do. But, hey, Brian, what about,
yeah. They're corrupt. They're corrupt. Yes. Yes, they're corrupt.
This guy made phone calls.
But I don't understand what that has to be with the MAGA people that went into the girl that was killed, right? Okay, the girl that was killed inside the Capitol, right? She was MAGA, wasn't she? Wait, hold on. The Air Force veteran who was killed by the cop in the Capitol. She was one of our MAGA people, and she was right there at the speaker's entrance, ready to go to Pelosi's office. She wasn't Antifa.
Yeah. Well, you got a point there. She was leading the way there. She was in front.
I mean, I watched. I've seen a lot of footage inside that Capitol because everybody's got their phones out, and it's upsetting. It's disturbing. It's wrong. It's scary, and no one had a damn. And everyone knows. Anybody who's been to Washington, I don't know. I've seen the video of the officers waving some people in. That was a few people. They didn't wave in. How many ever hundreds or thousands were in there? They weren't waving. You know, I saw some guys that were like on a painter's thing, pulling themselves up the side of the building, like that the window washers use, you know?
Those people are, just like you said, just that act in and of itself. They didn't get inside. But then again, what about the people who were inside who didn't burn, start butt?
It doesn't matter. Whoever broke, from the people that broke the security outside, well outside the building, everyone's a criminal. There's different levels, and people did more things that were higher level. You know, the people that made it into the chamber, their crimes are more severe than somebody who was outside, but still breaking a security. That was a mob, and it doesn't matter who started it. We know that our people, Brandon Straka, one of our leaders, the Air Force veteran that was killed by the cop, we know our people followed them.
But okay, you've changed my mind a little bit on culpability there. But now, what about? I say these Republicans. Why are they even going along with this impeachment and trial?
Because they're a bunch of never Trumper haters. They're never Trumper rhino haters.
Why can't they not even show up for this?
Because you know these rhinos are. these Republicans in the Senate, some Republicans in the Senate are trying to make the impeachment vote a secret vote, so we don't know who voted guilty or not guilty. You know, you got a bunch of, listen, everyone in Congress wants to be there for the rest of their life, okay? So they're going to do whatever they got to do to have that cushy job for the rest of their life. And I hope Ivanka or Lara Trump run against Marco Rubio and primary him the hell out of office with his amnesty that he's talking about all the time. You know?
I don't like that.
And enough that your mother was a maid and your dad was this. Everybody's parents work. You're not the only guy that has parents that work for a living, Marco Rubio. And I'll never forget what you said about Trump during the campaign, okay, in 2016. So I voted for...
What he didn't say about Trump in the 4 years Trump was president.
Yeah. Yeah.
Support.
Yeah, now he's running again because he's 2 years away from re-election, actually less. So now he's pretending to be a big Trump guy. I'm against impeachment. I'm against impeachment, you know, and we need to have a path. You know, I mean, yeah, please.
Coming out a little bit now, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Thank you for the call. Thank you for the call. All right, listen, if you're on hold, stand by. One opening on the board. We'll take our break and be back with your calls after this. Do not go anywhere.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van. At the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
Hi, this is George Corey of the Soul Authority. In this time of social distancing and sheltering in place, many people have been forced to neglect their feet. We at the Soul Authority are making it possible for you to still take care of your feet while remaining in your home, as we will send a doctor to your house for all of your podiatric needs. The best part of all is that Medicare pays for this visit. So, if you're a Medicare recipient, give the Soul Authority a call today at 954-597-7060. That's 954-597-7060. Don't let social distancing stop you from taking care of your feet. Call the Soul Authority today.
Homeowners, would you like to save money each and every month? Of course you would. We all want to save more money. But how? By calling I Will Advisors, that's how, at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. And have their expert team review your homeowner's policy. I Will Advisors will review your policy at no charge. Most homeowners never review their policy, but it should be reviewed every year. You commercial property owners, same goes for your property insurance policy. So what are you waiting for? Call I Will Advisors and start saving money. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. I'm going right back to the phones. Brandon Straka, founder of the WalkAway movement, will be in federal court today. Yesterday, arrested by the FBI for his role in the Capitol breach is what we're talking about. I'm going to ask the callers. I'm taking all the calls screenless. I'm trying to take them in the order in which they were received, but the phones are so busy, I've lost track. So when I take your call, you might have been on hold a minute or you might have been on hold half an hour. I really apologize, but I've lost track. I'm trying to take them the best I can in the order in which they were received, but there's just too many lines and too much ringing going on, so my apologies. I want to ask you, though, to please try to keep it on topic. The topic is Brandon Straka and the Capitol breach and his role in it. Okay, I want to keep it focused on that as much as possible. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. And I also want to say something to the listeners of the show and the callers to the show yesterday. You're going to hear something you don't hear from me too often. I was a little rough with some of our callers yesterday and unnecessarily rude to some people, including Richie, by the way. And yesterday I was, I'm not making excuses for myself. I'm just telling you that, I'm apologizing for my treatment. I was a little more than rough with many callers yesterday. I woke up grumpy, I guess. I was in a bad mood yesterday, and we had a lot of technical problems with our internet connections here at the radio station when I got here yesterday, and I was just in a bad mood, and no excuses other than I apologize for those of you. Now, we're debating and talking about these issues. That's cool, but what I was doing yesterday was beyond debate. I was just a cranky SOB yesterday, and my apologies to you and the listening audience and those of you on the call that called in yesterday that I was rough with, because I don't like to be that way. I didn't listen to yesterday's show on the way in today. I usually do, because I didn't want to. I knew I was cranky yesterday and I was in a bad mood, and I didn't want to hear myself that way. But anyway, I thought I'd share that. All right, now back to the phones. Again, all calls are screenless. I've lost track of who's called when. So I'm just going to move back to line 1 and move up. You're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian.
Yes, what's your name?
This is Fred calling from Coral Springs.
Hey, Fred.
One of the things I'm hearing a lot from the callers, they either implied or they're actually saying it's like but.
Yeah.
Wrong is wrong. And, I was brought up under the best excuse is no excuse. And, these rioters at the Capitol that got through the first security and into the building, they're all wrong, period. There's not an argument. And I think you're 150% right. And I don't want to be the guy that, I don't agree with what's happened. I'm sorry what's happened. But I'm not going to sit here and, add a butt to the conversation.
Yeah, and I like this thing. Well, Antifa planned it. Pelosi knew. But our guys did the right thing. It's 1776, baby. No, it's not. It's not even 1976. A
40% Antifa, 80%.
Our people went in. I'm upset about it for several reasons, okay? We're the law and order people. And here we got Brandon Straka telling people to assault a police officer and steal his shield, his defense against this mob, okay? So I'm pissed off at all these people. And I'm very angry, and I've been angry since day one. I did not even want to come to work the next day. I was so upset at how President Trump, the Trump family, and all of us in the Maga movement are going for the rest of our lives be held accountable for what these jerks did at the Capitol. They screwed up. It was worse than Charlottesville. Charlottesville wasn't us. They went in there with MAGA hats on, Trump shirts, wearing Trump flags as capes like they're some type of superhero lunatics. And they did this in Trump's name and image. And it screwed everything up for us.
It's going to be guilt by association for decades. And on that note, I'll let you go.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly. They're never going to let this go. And you know what? If it was the other side, would we let it go? Of course not. Because it would be wrong. All right, 1-888 go Kane 1 opening on the board. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, it's Joe in North Carolina.
Hey, Bill. How are you?
Totally agree with everything you're saying. The one thing I think we can learn from this maybe and go forward is, forever it's going to be in the history book. NAGA, bad, blah, blah. Let's move forward. 75 million people is going to follow him with whatever new letters you call them. Freedom Party, Patriot Party, whatever. Let's start the disassociation now.
Well, we're in a process here. Listen, they're putting President Trump on trial in the Senate on one count, and the charge is that he incited an insurrection, the Capitol breach. Brandon Straka, okay, he doesn't work for Trump or the Trump organization, but because of his celebrity status, he is connected to Trump. Believe me, these Democrats are going to point to Brandon Straka, who I'm sure, who has a connection to the president because of his fame and the importance of his organization. They're going to use that against him in the trial. This is, we're in the middle of it still. You can't move on until it's, we're not over. It's not over yet.
Yeah, but he's going to be acquitted. It takes 67 Senate.
And you know what? There's some people in the chat room. I'm not going to listen anymore because you know what? Listen, I'm not going to do what Straka did. I'm not going to do and say things so you can say, I'm going to keep listening to you, but I'm not going to listen because you said that these patriots are bad guys. Then leave. I don't want any listeners to leave, but I'm not going to sit here like a puppet and say what the mob want me to say. That's how Brandon Straka's got himself in FBI custody.
Or we'll never get over that. You're right. We got to accept what happened. Not us individually, but our approval of the movement is part of it. They caused this. We're always going to be branded because of it. But I'm just saying, once this he is acquitted again, and this is done.
Now listen, this is Brandon Straka's tweet that he deleted that they recovered. Okay. This is what he says. Also, be embarrassed and hide if you need to. But I was there, Brandon Straka tweets. It was not Antifa at the Capitol. It was freedom-loving patriots who were desperate to fight for the final hope of our republic. That means he's saying it was not Antifa, it was Maga. That's Brandon Straka. I was there, Brandon Straka says. What an idiot.
Oh, sorry. Idiot. Big time idiot. You're spot on today.
I mean, gee whiz.
I mean, and anybody that doesn't accept that, all of us that support him, you got to 100% agree with that he was wrong. That everybody with any kind of front hat.
One of the first callers I took an hour ago, one of the first calls I took today was about an hour ago, and a guy was suggesting, and he believed this. I thought he was kidding at first. I thought he was being devil's advocate. He was serious as a heart attack. He believes that Brandon Straka was kidnapped by Democratic operatives and brainwashed and programmed into doing this.
Wacko is the guy with the hat, the Viking guy. He's wacko as him.
Yeah, now the Viking isn't MAGA. He's just some lunatic that likes to go to events, and he's some loser at 33 that lives with his mommy still. He's finally moved out of his mom's house. It's a prison cell, but he's out on his own now. I mean, come on. That guy's not us. But you know what? The liberals write all the history books, and he'll be identified as us. All right, thank you for your call. One more call, and then we'll break at the bottom. Good morning. Good morning, you're on the air. Hello? Yes, you're on the air. What's your name?
My name is Cheryl. I'm in Washington State.
Hey, Cheryl in Washington. How are you?
I'm fine. I woke up this morning and saw, I wake up early and can't sleep. I heard your show on, and I saw the headlines, and I thought, my first reaction was, oh, they're going to come after all the innocents again, and then I started listening to what, some of the tweets were, and I kind of, and then I thought, well, you're being rough on people again, and I thought, no, wait a minute, we've got to hold the line here, we've got to hold the law and order, because if they don't, we're going to go over the line, and they're going to end up...
Brandon Straka was, according to multiple witnesses, and they have video and everything of this, because... everyone films everything on their phones now, was telling people to assault a Capitol police officer and take his shield away from him. And they did it. I mean, we're the Blue Lives Matter people, not the police bashers. How can you walk around, how can you, there were probably people wearing Blue Lives Matter hats that were taking part in I mean, how can you say we're Blue Lives Matter, but you're saying assault a Capitol police officer?
He was wrong. I mean, I'm heartbroken. I don't even know.
I get heartbroken's a way. I guess it sounds angry, but I think heartbroken. Yeah, I think heartbroken's a big part of it, because we're associated with their crime.
Yes. And I think, Brian, what happens is people are sitting home, they're stuck in their houses. I tell you, I'm almost 70 years old, and I went through the hippie movement and all that, so I kind of understand the passion behind it. We're sitting home and people are feeding people what do they call it, hopium, and all this stuff about what, these secret things are going to happen, and hang in there. And listen, reality is reality, and we've got a battle to fight, and it is a spiritual battle. It's an evil battle, and we've got to get ourselves grounded in what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like to share Ecclesiastes 12:14. For God shall bring every work into judgment, and every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. And I believe Trump has pulled back that curtain, and people are expecting him to fix everything. He's not a Messiah. He is not a God, and we know that he is. We can count on him to.
Let me tell you something. I know he's not the Messiah. I know that. But he's Donald Trump is the greatest president this country has ever had. There is never, ever, and I don't say this lightly, I'm going back to George Washington. There has never been a president who was truly representative of the people, not running for office to protect their own personal wealth and power. It cost him money from day one to run for president. He donated his entire salary. Biden's got all his Burisma money. Is he donating his salary? I don't think so.
I agree with you 100%. I'm getting there. I think that, and here's where I think that where people have gone wrong is that they're trying to say that that we are following him like a cult. Well, what they don't realize is that the people that follow Trump, our beliefs are all.
It hasn't happened too many times, but I've had people make rude comments to me a few times with my Trump gear on when I've been out in public. I never get rude with them. I'm always polite. As I told a caller in the last hour, when I'm wearing a Trump hat or a Trump shirt, my actions will reflect on him, and I'm always on extra good behavior if I've got a Trump shirt on or a Maga hat on. Always have been from the campaign, okay? And these people did this in his name when they did that, as if they were part of him. And President Trump is, he hasn't done any interviews yet, but once he starts doing interviews with these Leslie Stahl types, it's all going to be about this for the rest of his damn life. I'm surprised they don't have a book out about it yet. They call it Trump's breach, Trump's insurrection on CNN. And these people screwed over President Trump, screwed over the Trump family, the MAGA movement, and all of us when they did this. And I'm not going to sit here and say it's anything other than a criminal act because a couple lunatics sitting in their couch watching me on YouTube that have no life say, oh, it's 1776 and we got to get off the couch and go to work. Okay? This pisses me off. When I saw that what Brandon Straka did, he's a leader in the MAGA movement. He's one of the most famous, he's one of the most famous MAGA people in America. And he got himself wrapped up in this.
On my list of people I could trust, and every day I'm crossing somebody off. Every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've got to represent what Trump truly is, because so many people are working so hard to pay him.
Well, I'm telling you now this is I got to look at the time, because the last month has been a confusing time, and I've lost track of the timeline of events. But I've seen Brandon Straka on Newsmax many times in the last few weeks. Facebook took the WalkAway group off of Facebook. They have like 500,000 followers. They took it. They lost, And I don't remember if that was before or after the breach. I think it was after. And if it was after, it was probably because of the breach. Because he had been under FBI investigation. The FBI probably went to them to collect data. Because these tweets that he made, he deleted. The video he put up, he deleted. So they went back to social media, and they probably, look what that did. Just, he's destroyed the WalkAway movement. He's the face of the movement. All right. I am too. I'm angry. I'm pissed. I'm heartbroken. I'm disappointed. I'm shocked. I'm surprised. When I saw this story today, the first place I saw it was in the Gateway Pundit. I woke up, took out my phone. First place I go where it used to be the Drudge Report. Now it's Gateway Pundit. I saw the story in Gateway Pundit. I said, "There's no way that Brandon Straka did this." So I went around and found it elsewhere. Yeah, I went around and found it in mainstream media because I guess I didn't want to believe it because I trust the Gateway Pundit, and it's true. All right, hey, listen, thank you for your call. We're going to take our break. Steve Kane will be joining us after our late bottom of the hour break. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Do not go anywhere. We'll take that break and be right back after this.
Brian, when it comes to auto repair, you want a garage that you can trust. Someone that will only do work on your car when your car needs work. Introducing Champagne Automotive in Boca Raton, the latest sponsor of the Steve Kane Radio Show. Tom called in on the radio to tell us about his experience with Champagne Automotive.
Hi, this is Tom from Tamarack.
Hey, Tom from Tamarack.
Those of you that are new here, please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you don't mind, and share the video on all your social media. We're here every day taking calls, Monday through Friday, in the mornings while we're on the radio. And, hold on, let me answer some calls here. Steve Kane Show.
Well, I was almost blown over how friendly,
Hold
honest, old school
on. I'm expecting a call from someone, one of our sponsors. And I also upload my podcast here that I host with my wife, Kathy, and I put a lot of other content up here as well. So make sure you're subscribed and you click that notification bell, too.
Tell me the end of the story. You got me hooked.
So it wasn't that your vehicle was misdiagnosed at the other place. You were dealing with a crook.
Oh, absolutely. This guy wanted to sell me everything but a washing machine. I don't want that.
Now, this is our new sponsor. We have wanted for a long time to have an auto repair shop. When it comes to auto repair, that is the most difficult category for us to find as an advertiser because most are like this guy you were dealing with the other day over in Tamarack, they're crooks. And we found Champagne Automotive. Ed, who's the owner, is a listener of the program. They come very, very highly recommended. So I appreciate you calling in and telling us the good story. Now, Champagne Automotive, they're in Boca off Spanish River Boulevard, immediately west of Dixie Highway. The number is 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, we are back. If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. Stand by. The phones have been busy since 6 a.m. If you hang up, you probably won't get back in. And we've got Steve Kane with us. Hey, Steve, how you doing?
Good morning. How are you doing?
Good. Don, the engineer here at the radio station, got everything working, and you're loud and clear today. He's the best engineer in the radio business, and I'm not just saying that. I've known a lot, and he's very good. So there's a problem. Next day, it's fixed. Oh, man. All right, well, we got a full board of calls. What do you want to do?
Let's just take the calls.
Okay, now we're taking all the calls screenless on the show. Every call has been screenless today. I'm trying to take the calls in the order in which they were received, but the phones are so busy and have been ringing so much, it's hard for me to keep track since I'm, so...
I just, if you'd be kind
recap.
enough to bring me up to date, have we been talking about this Brandon Straka thing?
That's what all the calls are about. Yeah, it's a hot topic. It's going to be very big today. Everyone will be talking about it. We're just on the cutting edge. Oh.
But how long, just so I can gauge my own, subject picking today, how long did you...
Well, you can bring up anything you want to bring up, Steve. I'm not stopping you. I mean, but we got a full board of calls on it. If you bring up your... Well, if you... Okay, because if you want to bring something up, the calls can sprinkle in on that. And I also... Well, we'll get to some other stuff in a bit. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Hello, from the wind tunnel. Once, twice, 3 times. All right, you're on the air. Good morning. Yes, you're on the air.
Yeah, thanks. This is Bobby from Virginia.
Hey, Bobby.
Hey, good morning. And I just want to talk about the Brian thing and pretty much anybody else who's a a Trump supporter. I'm like you, Brian. I waited all my life to have a businessman in that job because I knew that he would do the job for no other reason except that he loves the United States.
Well, let me tell you what's going on here, and the importance of this thing with Brandon Straka and the Capitol breach people. Certain areas of the MAGA movement have gotten taken over by some people that really don't have the president's best interest at heart, like Lynn Wood. Okay, and a lot of people have gotten a lot of people worked up, and there's a faction in the MAGA movement that's not really the MAGA movement. Okay, and that's what's going on here.
First of all, I support the MAGA movement, and I have to say one thing. Anybody that went to the Capitol, no matter what they did, they're responsible for their own actions.
But have you been listening to the show very long today? How long have you been listening? You know, I've been hearing callers tell me, we've been hearing a lot of buts from callers, which is, yeah.
There's no but. They're responsible for their own actions. I only live 100 miles from D.C. I wasn't going to go. I said, I'm not going. I don't want to be anything.
Thank God I didn't go. I thought about going with my daughter. I had some people I knew up there. Could you imagine what a position I would be in if I was 5 miles away from there and still in D.C.? Oh my gosh.
Horrible.
It would have been like It would have been like I was a part of the breach to these you know. Exactly. But Brandon Straka, a leader in the MAGA movement, was telling people to assault a police officer and take his shield. And then they did it.
I mean, you're responsible for whatever you do.
Well, he was inciting, too. He was inciting, and he's a leader.
You know what? He's going to have to pay, and unfortunately, we're going to have to pay and listen to all the stuff that they did.
He has a good chance of going to prison.
Horrible, but you got to be responsible for whatever you
do. What do you say? What do you say after you've said I'm sorry? What do you say? I mean, I've only been with us the last 15, 20 minutes or so.
Oh, well, then you've missed everything. Because there's a divide. There's a divide in the. Let me explain to you. There's a divide in the MAGA movement, Steve. There's a huge chunk of people, I've been hearing from them on the phones, that are justifying it. That think it was okay.
If you were wrong, you were wrong. Move on.
I mean, I'm seeing people in our chat room that so the Boston Tea Party was a criminal act. This is not 1774, people. Okay, there's a lot of these people who think that they're the Sons of Liberty, and they're not. If you made
a mistake, you got to live up to your mistake, and you got to move on and live with
the president's impeachment trial is because of this, and Brandon Straka is going to. Yeah.
Hold on. You don't think they would have found something else to go after if Brandon Straka?
If it wasn't for he would not be going through a second impeachment trial if it were not for the Capitol breach.
Please.
They would have investigations about all kinds of things.
And they would investigate till they found something, and if they didn't find something fast or in the beginning, they would look until they found something.
Oh, that would, yeah.
You can't beat these people.
He would be condemned for a fly in his food. Come on, man.
And all we can do, when you do it, you say it was an unfortunate thing, which it was. You tell the truth about it. It showed great stupidity. You point out why it's harmful, and then you move on. I mean, there's no, we're beating ourselves up so much it just doesn't. It's out of proportion with what happened.
I'm for supporting the man. I still support Trump. He's the greatest president we've ever had, and that's it. I support the man.
All right, now listen. Thank you for your call. If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. Just one opening on the board where I let go of that guy. I got to tell everybody another breaking news story today. One of our sponsors here on the Steve Kane Show, Mike Lindell's been going through all kinds of hell. There's some updates on Mike Lindell's situation. Mike Lindell is a man who, without question, is being persecuted because of his strong support of President Trump. Now, last week, we were talking about how Kohl's, Bed Bath & Beyond, and Wayfair will no longer carry MyPillow products, which is outrageous. The Daily Mail ran a story about him late last week that he is suing them for, that he says is completely false. They accused him of having a relationship with an actress. That was a very detailed story. And they really implied that he... Well, they implied that it was an affair, which it was not, because he's not married. And they had this very detailed story about an actress who was on Ally McBeal. I don't know her name, but I'm familiar with her. She's a character actor, and I know who she is. It was a very detailed story about this rocky romance they have, with him overloading her with gifts that she throws away in the garden, all this terrible stuff. And it said in the headline, Mike Lindell's secret relationship with actress. They had a lot of, they didn't really have any quotes from her, but unnamed friends, but very detailed story. And I did not know he was not married. I assumed he was married. And they made it sound as if he had had a secret affair. There was, and he's not married, so...
That they can go after him, when they can't find stuff, they'll...
That's right. And Mike Lindell is suing them. He has never even met the actress or been in the cities that they said he was in. There was some confrontation in the Hamptons they wrote about. He's never even met the actress, he said. So he's suing the Daily Mail. And that was like Friday. And then yesterday he was permanently banned from Twitter, Mike Lindell. Mike Lindell of MyPillow is facing an incredible amount of persecution because of his support of President Trump. And a way that you can support Mike Lindell is by going to MyPillow.com and buying anything that you see over there at MyPillow.com. And you get incredible discounts when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout. Every special you see at MyPillow.com, regardless of what it says, you can take advantage of when you use the promo code KANE. I want to go over just a few of the items, and then we'll get back to our very busy phones. The 100% Giza Cotton MyPillow Dream Sheets. I have these sheets. They're the best sheets I've ever had. And I'll tell you one thing that's crazy about them that I've never seen with a set of sheets before is that bottom sheet. You know when you're making your bed and you have to like pull that bottom sheet to get it over that fourth corner of the mattress, and you never really... The MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets fit perfectly every time. You can do it with just one finger. They're perfect. Buy one set, get a second set free when you use the promo code KANE. The MyPillow Towel Set, buy one set, get a second set free when you use the promo code KANE. The MyPillow Bathrobe, which I was wearing on the show Friday, I know a lot of you saw it. I got one for myself, got one for my wife. Mine's gray, hers is white. They also come in other colors, including pretty and pink. This is a great Valentine's Day gift. It was a Valentine's Day gift for my wife, but I debuted it early because I wanted to show you guys out there in the listening audience on YouTube. When you use the promo code KANE, save 30% off the MyPillow bathrobe. A brand new item they have. This will probably be the next thing I buy. The MyPillow throw blanket. You know, like you're sitting on the couch, you got a nice, comfortable, soft throw blanket. The MyPillow throw blanket, save 30% with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. And the last thing I'm going to mention is the MyPillow weighted blanket. I got one for you, Steve. It's at home in my living room. I still got to meet up with you to give it to you. But I didn't open it up out of the package because I want you to get it brand new so you can experience it brand new out of the package. But it comes in a transparent like bag, you know, that you can see, this, you know, that's plastic, and I've looked at it. I've had weighted blankets. This is the most high quality weighted blanket I have ever seen, and the price is incredibly low. When you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, save 30% off the MyPillow weighted blanket. And what a weighted blanket does, it stops your body from twisting and turning at night. So you got your head on your MyPillow, got your body under the MyPillow weighted blanket. You will not toss, you will not turn at night. You will get the most peaceful night's sleep you've ever had. So go to MyPillow.com, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, and those of you that would like to order by phone, you can do that as well. Now, when you order by phone, I'm going to give you the number. Make sure you spell out KANE, K-A-N-E, to them. 1-800-716-4544. 4879. 1-800-716-4879. All right, every line is lit, so we're just going to go back to our phones. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Brian. So, I was listening to this morning, and I think, I see you guys see, I just sort of have to backtrack a piece because, the reality is the election was stolen.
There's no more buts. It doesn't matter what happened. It doesn't matter if there was an alien invasion, okay? What they did was wrong. That's the fact. All right, all right. Well, it could be.
It's our job to make it the beginning.
Exactly. I agree, but if you hear caller after caller that's a Trump supporter justifying it.
I hear a lot of things in the news that show the overall message of what I'm getting from watching television news is that there are a lot of people more upset than even I had thought that are not going to let this go, period. End of story. It's not going away. All these investigations are continuing to be explored and investigated, and the fact is what they did is a threat to, what they did was a threat to the survival of the country. This whole...
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Actively worked on it. That's where I would put the light right now.
Yeah.
Feeling kind of desperate, and I think we have to give them some of the stories that show.
Well, bring up anything, Steve. I'm just saying we got a full board on this. I mean.
Oh, let's
I'm just we can talk about anything. I'm just taking the calls. I mean, this is a big story, and we have one opening on the board.
Okay.
So our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. No, we can talk about anything you want to talk about. We got a full board on this. I mean,
I had thought that the uproar about the election was.
Yeah. All right. Well, do you want to take any calls or what? What do you want to do? All right. Okay. But you're telling me you're upset at the callers. Okay. All right. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Good morning, Ryan. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning.
I love your passion. This is Sherry, Michigander calling. I wasn't going to call today, but I had to get out of that chat room, and then I heard that this Brandon got kidnapped and...
Kidnapped? Oh, yeah, with the earlier caller, yes.
And what I wanted to say is well, from our call yesterday, you're absolutely right. We do not live in a should world. But number one, what should have went down, and what's done, is after the president got done giving his speech, that should have been the end of it. Yeah, I'm really pissed about the Brandon Straka situation too. But it's the first individual that crossed the line. And everyone...
Well, what I'm trying to say is, to me, the big story...
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, we got to take our break for the top. Okay, if you're on hold, don't go anywhere. All right, third hour begins right now.
You covered AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
On the line, we have our estate planning attorney, Barry Siegel. Hey, Barry, good morning. I'll be right back, guys. I almost walked away with the mic. Great. How are you in the world of estate planning and elder law going?
The world of estate planning and elder law is very busy. A lot of people are concerned about protecting their assets and making sure they leave a legacy the proper way for their loved ones. I had a lady come in this past week. The issue she was having was she had a husband who has Alzheimer's, and she had to quit her job. Her son had to quit his job, and they're caring for him essentially 24 hours. So their income, of course, is down. They're worried about spending down their assets eventually on having to pay for some outside care. And anyway, they were very relieved when they came in to find out that we're going to be able to get him qualified for Medicaid. They want to, at least for the time being, of course they want to keep him home as long as they can. But they're going to be able to keep him home, get him care. Likely Medicaid will provide about 40 hours of care every single week, which will free them up and will help them also protect their assets. And they really had no clue. Somebody at one of the Alzheimer's organizations that they go to for support had referred them, and they were in disbelief. They had no idea that they could have gotten all of this help and not have to spend down their assets. So I know there are a lot of people in the same situation who just are unaware that planning is available and available to help protect their time, protect their assets, and their peace of mind.
Yeah, and this Medicaid planning, Barry Siegel has an entire team at his law office that specialize in this and do this all day, every day, and it's a very complex thing that they have an expertise in. You want to give them a call. And so many spouses, Barry, they spend all their assets taking care of their husband, taking care of their wife, and then they pass and they're left with nothing. And sometimes they even sell their home. That's not necessary. Call attorney Barry Siegel. A free consultation for Steve Kane listeners. His number, 1-855-FLA-ESTATE. 855-FLA-ESTATE. That's 855-352-3782. And, of course, his website, SiegelLawGroup.com, a brand new updated website that you want to check out as well, attorney Barry Siegel. All right, Barry, we will talk later in the week.
All right, Brian, thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too. Take care.
This is Steve Kane, and I wanted to share with you some thoughts about why I chose the Gardens of Boca Raton to be my final resting place. I have always been uncomfortable with thoughts of death and dying, but the very first time that I visited the Gardens of Boca Raton, I could feel my apprehensions vanish. Just knowing that I'd be spending eternity with my family in such magnificent surroundings lifted my spirits. The Gardens of Boca Raton is an all-faith, above-ground cemetery with tranquil surroundings, a place where your loved ones can come and visit you time and time again, remembering and celebrating your life. The gardens have caring professionals available to help you in your time of need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Pre-need with 0% financing is available and prevents your family from having to deal with these matters at the time of their grief and sorrow. The Gardens of Boca Raton, dedicated to all those who have lived and all those who live today. Let the Gardens take care of your family as they are taking care of my family. Schedule a tour today. Call 877-PLAN-561 or online at thegardens.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Homeowners, would you like to save money each and every month? Of course you would. We all want to save more money. But how? By calling I Will Advisors, that's how, at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. And have their expert team review your homeowner's policy. I Will Advisors will review your policy at no charge. Most homeowners never review their policy, but it should be reviewed every year. You commercial property owners, same goes for your property insurance policy. So what are you waiting for? Call I Will Advisors and start saving money. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens.
Donna, $20 super chat. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
855 FLA 3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1.
All right, third hour's begun. Steve, you with us? I was trying to call you. I had to talk to you. It was very important during the break, and you didn't answer. So let's just take the... No, that's why I was trying to call you during the break. So let's just take the calls, and then when we take the next break, I will call you during the break. Okay? I'm going to send you a text message. So it's just read. I'm going to send you the text message in a minute. Just while I'm taking a call here, I'm going to send you a text and then read the text. All right? Okay. You're on the air. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, good morning. It's Greg too, guys.
Oh yes.
Listen, Brian. Hey, Steve. Listen, that was a major historical changing event when they raided the Capitol. It changed so many things. It changed. I think Pence might have put up some evidence. They might have debated, the fraud during the election. It gave Biden credibility. Now he's this calming force. It makes the MAGA party look disgusting and being ridiculed.
Yeah, no, that's why that's why you'll deny it, but that's why you have smile in your voice today.
Have a smile.
Yes, he's laughing because somebody called the other day. It was after the show, unfortunately, and I told them to call back on the air, and hopefully they will today. But I was answering the phone after the show, and they said Greg too. It was after one of your calls the other day. They said every call he's ever made in the last couple of years starts with "I love Trump, but," and then you know what I mean.
This must be the exception because I didn't start it off with that. So. And by the way, I don't say I love Trump. I think he was a great president. Ronald Reagan, to me, is the greatest president in my lifetime, period. Ronald Reagan was awesome. 8 terms, took 50 states. The guy was amazing.
Yeah, you want to talk about Millard Fillmore, too? Can you talk about something more relevant and recent? Now, that was the best thing you said all day, Steve. Thank you for giving me that out. I wanted to hang up on him, but thank you for giving me permission. You're on the air. Good morning. See, he's a fake Trump supporter, if you haven't noticed, Greg, too. All right, go ahead, caller.
Good morning, conservatives. Good morning, gentlemen. Good
morning, John.
Brett, good morning. Yes, this Brett's in Big Mac cast. Without a doubt, there was outsiders there, but how the hell do you know that it wasn't Antifa was there? I mean, you put a MAGA hat on, and Antifa is...
Well, because he was trying to get through the door, and he's not Antifa. And, this is what... I'll make a little prediction here about Brandon Straka. Every person that's been arrested so far in the Capitol breach has said that they were just doing what Trump told them to do. So let's see, will he throw Trump under the bus?
Do you know what I think that's about? That's about people making deals.
Yes.
A lot of people were arrested who were basically sympathetic with Trump, a lot of them. And they sat down with the FBI agents, and the FBI agents said, this is what happened. They don't ask them what happened. They say, this is what happened, and if that's your story, we can get you out of here real quick.
But, yeah. Well, Brandon Straka is number 2 or 3 most well-known. That's not an... but so when you have someone that high profile, it's almost as if Candace Owens had gotten arrested.
He should have kept his mouth shut and just got arrested, say I was there.
No, well, he shouldn't have gone in, is what he should have done. He should have, instead of... All right. Okay, you're being quick on the calls here. Okay, all right. Okay, well, you're on the air. Go ahead, caller. Yes, you're on the air.
Brian?
Yeah?
Good morning, Steve. Brian, this is Al from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Al from Fort Lauderdale. What's up?
Brian, let me ask you a question.
Same thing, I think. I think he's pissed off at them for doing it. I think he's angry that he's blamed for what they did. Yeah, I don't think he's happy about it. Yes. Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah.
Drop it and move on.
But no. I'm not talking about him personally. I mean, what I'm telling you. No, he said the movement. The MAGA movement is for years to come is going to be stained by this.
I disagree.
I agree with that to a certain point, though, but I don't think that the president's going to sit there and dwell on something like this.
Well, we're not dwelling. This is a news event that just happened. This is a news event.
I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm saying that I think the president is going to move on beyond this.
I know. What I'm trying to do here is I pick up the pace of the show, which just means move the callers faster until we find callers that are starting to say something new that hasn't been said yet in the show. If there are people out there, I want to know if there are people out there.
Yeah. 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 Did you get my text message, by the way? Oh, okay. No. Well, no. I don't want you to look. Just let's take the break, and then I'll call you during the break because I got to talk to you. Okay. Listen. We're going to take our quick break now. Listen. If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. We'll be back to our calls after the break. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977. We'll take our break and be back with your calls after this.
Covered AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to any lab test now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to any lab test now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose and in my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to any lab test now of Coral Springs. They get great rates for Steve Kane listeners, and tell them we sent you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, welcome back. Oh, and I got an addition to any lab test now of Boca in Coral Springs. Someone in my immediate family, not in my household, thankfully so, but someone in my immediate family just tested positive for COVID. And I got to tell you, some other people in the family that have come in contact with this person will be heading over to any lab test now. I think probably at Boca. They might go to the Coral Springs location, live in the middle, and get tested because they were with them. And, when you go over to any lab test now of Boca or Coral Springs, they give you the results 15 minutes or less. Do you have it? Do you not have it? And they also give you a printout of the result. And you can also find out not just if you're positive, you can, but also find out if you have been exposed. And there are different tests needed for different things. There's certain tests people need to get to go to work. There's certain tests people need to get to travel with. whatever you need the test for, tell them why you are getting testing, and they'll make sure you get the right test for that. So any lab test now of Boca, any lab test now of Coral Springs, make sure you mention to them you heard about them on the radio. All right, we are back. You with us, Steve? Okay, good. All right, our number, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. Steve wants us to move beyond the Straka thing, which we've talked about it for 2 hours. It's certainly time to move on to some other things, and you are all welcome to do that. So give us a call, 1-888-465-2631. Good morning. You're on the air. Good. Yeah, you're on the air.
Well, my name is Lenny. I'm on Delray Beach. Just want to make a comment about Delray Beach, Florida. Just want to make a comment about
Go right ahead. What do you got for us?
How you doing? My name is Lenny. I'm originally from Russia. I'm here 42 years. I'm U.S. citizen. I'm just listening to all this. Everybody on the left saying Russia. Russia.
He's not native-born American. He doesn't get the joke, Steve.
It's not a joke.
Yeah, it is. Okay, go ahead.
I'm just saying, people here in Russia are the same people. You know, they're all trying to make a living, trying to get a house.
Yeah.
And here, what's going on right now? Sure, it's a very bad situation right now. The country is split on a half, and same thing in Russia, same way. But education is probably the best thing to do. Trump, he's a businessman. He sacrificed his 4 years of business to try to fix the country. Now we're going backwards, steps backwards. So that's what I want to say.
Okay. All right. Hey, listen, thank you for your call. He still didn't get the other joke, but that's okay. It's okay. You know, I was noticing in the news, maybe you have noticed this, they're talking about this new variant of the coronavirus, and I keep hearing there's a Brazilian variant, and there's what's the other variant? There's another one that has to do with Europe or something. England, okay. There's a UK variant, and there's a Brazil variant, and I keep hearing all these people in the news talk about it. They spent most of last year telling us that we should not call it the China virus because we don't want to stigmatize a country or a group of people with any blame with COVID. And now they got these UK variant and Brazilian variant, and I don't hear anyone take an issue with them blaming the UK and the Brazilians for this. I guess it's only China you're not allowed to label with such things. It's very and it's a hypocrisy in the media that I'm not seeing many people pick up on. I was watching the press briefing yesterday with Jin Psaki. Yeah, Jin Psaki. And the only parts of the press briefing that are interesting are the parts when the Fox News reporter asks her questions. And Ducey, he asks very good questions, always puts her on the spot. And he was talking to her about how Biden has put these travel bans on all these different countries, including the UK, and there were some other ones, and was talking about all the criticism that Biden had for Trump when he shut down travel from China. And why is there no criticism? Because he's isolating these. Steve Ducey, is that his name? What's Ducey's? Peter Ducey. Peter Ducey is the White House. Steve's the father, Peter's the son. And Peter Ducey he's asking all the tough questions. But Biden yesterday, though, said he likes him. So he's, as opposed to getting confrontational like Trump did with Acosta, he's trying to bond with Ducey. But he does ask good questions, I must say. And it's the, without question, it's the highlight of the press conferences, in my view. I kind of enjoy them. And he does ask the tough questions. But but when you look at in this last, it's almost been a week. It'll be a week tomorrow since the inauguration, and everything Biden has done, he hasn't done one thing that helps one American citizen, but he's stopping all deportations all deportations for any reason whatsoever, and I didn't hear them talk about what they're going to do with the people they catch at the border. Are they going to detain them? Are they going to release them into the country? So he's going to...
I believe.
Yeah. I mean, he just he can't wait. All right, let's go back to our phones. 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. Good morning. Good morning, caller. Hey, Joey.
Hey, good morning, Steve. Good morning, Brian. Listen, you were talking about China. Go there. You know, we know that China, for thousands of years, have been trying to control their population, and all you need.
Well, we don't know that to be true. That would be like conspiracy speculation.
That they developed this thing.
Well, the person in my immediate family that has it is they're sick. Okay, someone in my family has in my immediate family, not in my household, and I don't want to say who because then people go on a panic. You know, so they're informing everyone, but they're sick, and they're not young. They're not personally known that's had it, and I know they have it for a fact, and they've got a lot of symptoms. So I'm really monitoring how they do. I'm curious to see, because this is my closest. I've had some aunts and uncles that have had it, but they're a little younger than this person. You know, and they got it early on, and they got over it. But this is the first person in my immediate family that has it. They don't seem too concerned about it.
Also mentioned, I'm not accusing China of anything. What?
Well, if it was, we'll never know because Biden and his people will never let us know. Okay, so that's the end of. Oh, by the way, the new Congresswoman Brobert, the one that carries the gun all the time. You know what I'm talking about, Steve?
Yes, sir.
You know, there's this new crop of young members of the House of Representatives that are like Trump people. She's one of them, Boebert. And then there's the guy in the wheelchair. And the guy in the wheelchair. And they are really going after these people, and they're going after Lauren Boebert for her education level. And it shows you what snobs these people are. I learned something about her I didn't know, but it's certainly not a negative. This is from the Fox News website. Let me read this to you. Freshman Representative Lauren Boebert, Republican from Colorado, fired back at critics on Twitter who attacked her educational attainment level. She questioned the need for a federal education department, so they went after her education level. She received a GED, and she got her GED just a month before she ran for Congress. And they're attacking her education level. Well, I'm sorry she didn't go to Harvard, Yale, Princeton, or even college. But I imagine, she's got this restaurant that her and her husband own. I imagine she's been too busy working to go on a siesta, to go to college for 4 years or 6 years or however long some of these people go to. And she responded to the tweet. She says, this is Lauren Boebert, I left high school to help feed my family, and I'm proud of that. Meanwhile, all these super smart lawyers and career politicians have racked up $28 trillion in debt and seem to get a whole lot of policies dead wrong. You don't need an Ivy League degree to achieve the American dream. You know, and they are really going after her for only having a GED, and she just got it before she went to Congress, before she ran for Congress. I saw her on TV before she had her GED. She became famous She went to one of these town halls with Beto in Texas when he was running for Senate. And I don't remember the question, but it was so good. I remember we played the exchange on the air at the time. We didn't even know who she was. She took Beto down like a champion. She asked a question or two. He was left speechless. She humiliated him. It went viral, and that's how she's in Congress today. So, attacking her for not having a college degree. The left are such snobs. They're the intellectual, snobby elite. All right, let's go back to the phones. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Oh, yes. This is Crystal in Palm Beach County.
Yes.
Hello, Priscilla.
How are you?
Good.
New listeners to you guys. I've been listening to you guys for about 6 months now.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I just think it's disgusting and it's disheartening, honestly, to see what Biden has accomplished in, 5 days now that he's been in the White House, where he has put out, over 200 jobs in Wyoming.
100,000 people. He's put out of work 100,000 people. And by the way, that was by Friday. That was in his first 2 days.
Oh, 2 days, yes. All right. But you don't see the mainstream media. You don't see Fox and CNN talking about that. You don't hear them talking about what it's going to do to the country when he lets in 11,000 illegal immigrants. And from what it sounds like, he's going to pardon them and just give them their citizenship. And it's kind of like screw all the people that have been sitting here in the U.S. already that have been doing it the right way and legally, that they're not going to get their citizenship.
Yeah.
Still going to have to go through the red tape in the process. And he's managed to do that all within the first 3-4
Yeah.
Made the announcement before they were ready, and as a result, practically started a riot of people pouring across the border in advance, and he had to call everything back. So far, most of what he has done has either just done directly to contradict an action that Trump has taken, or it's an act that makes it's foolish, that makes him look dumb.
And they're not social distancing.
Oh.
No, none of that. Not one of it. And I'm curious to see as well of all these other legislations that he's already signing in. And just like he's talked about uniting the country, uniting. You're not uniting anything when you lay off over 100,000 people and they're out of.
And you know what? A lot of those jobs were union guys up north, while he claims to be Mr. Union.
These press releases and everything, do you think he's doing well so far or not?
Absolutely not. I already knew it.
Well, we all knew it. Now we're seeing.
What about? Okay, hold on. In the eyes of his own constituents, is he doing well? I don't think so.
Like they're just going to say that because now they're all looking stupid of everybody who voted for Biden about how great he was going to do for this country, and he hasn't.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay, what he did with the pipeline construction, that cost about 100,000 jobs, right? They want to say 1,000, but they don't. The 100,000 includes the people that drive the parts there, the people that manufacture the equipment. You know how that goes. And what he did was not reduce one bit of the. He says he did it for the climate, right? All he's done is the demand is still there. They just have to ship the oil in from the Middle East now. You know what I mean? So he's actually causing more pollution. It's a lie. Everything he did was a lie. And he also shut down the oil work that was being done in Anwar in Alaska, which is a barren, uninhabited area. And
his ineptness will be.
Well, one thing, that's right. That's right. And I've already noticed, it's just a little bit, but I've already noticed the gas prices going up. And gas prices bug people in a normal time. And in a time when you have whole states like California shut down, it really impacts people because they can't afford to fill their car up. And I did watch, Biden had a bit of a press conference yesterday, and I watched it, a little bit of it. And what I noticed, the more he talked, the more the Dow went down. They had the Dow graphic, and it was you know, and the more he talked, the more it went down. I don't know what the final close was, but he said something. He said to avoid going into a deeper recession. I was not aware we were in a recession. So yeah, he said to avoid going into a deeper recession. So you know, he thinks we're in a recession. I guess he's trying to cause one.
We've got to get rid of doctor.
Oh, did you hear the latest thing about Fauci and his salary? Did you hear the latest thing about Fauci's salary? Fauci. No. No. Listen to this. Fauci is the highest paid person in the entire federal government of the United States. He makes more money than the President of the United States. His salary is higher than the President. And he's a civil servant.
Like that.
Well, now we know why he wants to hold on to that job. Yeah. Hey, listen, thanks for the call. Thanks for the call, and welcome to the show. All right, let's take one more call before our bottom of the hour break. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Good morning, Brian.
Oh, hey, Attorney Barry Siegel, our estate planning and elder law attorney. Hey, Barry. I'm doing very well. How is the area of elder law and estate planning going?
Well, I mean, it's very busy. It's doing well. The idea I wanted to mention today, though, is that I know when we talk about it on the air and think about it, it's just not one of those areas that people think about, oh, this is something I really want. It's really just something that people need. Like, you know, people during normal times they'll think about the trips they want to go on and what resorts in Europe they want to go to, and you'll see people reading through these travel magazines, looking at these beautiful places they want to go. You don't see people reading through these beautiful magazines, comparing, looking at different estate plans, like pictures of estate plans, of course. It's something that we need because we want to have that peace of mind. We need that peace of mind, and we need to take care of the people that we love. So it's one of those things that we just do, and we need to do. And if you haven't done it, it's something that if you have people in your life that you want to take care of, make sure you don't leave them a mess. You need to make sure that you set up an estate plan. If you already have one, then just ask yourself, when is the last time you took it out, reviewed it, or had it reviewed by an attorney who does estate planning, who can tell you what you have, what you don't have, and make sure that you have an estate plan that's going to work for you and your family, protect you, and give you peace of mind.
Yeah, and Barry will review your estate plan at no charge. And those of you that are snowbirds or you're hiding out from the corona down here in Florida, you need to call Barry too, because if you have a residence in another state, you could end up with 2 probates, and there's no need to do that. Barry can help you. Give attorney Barry Siegel a call. His number, 1-855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Barry, we will talk later in the week. All right, take care. All right, we'll finish up our break and be right back. Don't go anywhere.
AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities, I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show. Our number 1-888-GO Kane 1-888-465-2631. If you want to call in about the Brandon Straka thing, he will be in court today. You are certainly welcome to do that. We have some new information about the president starting a third party, and we're getting a lot of, I would almost call it, I would definitely call it a lot of mixed messages, from the Trump group of people, but I don't know how they all come to these different conclusions about what's going on. But what I picked up following the president and President Trump and others coming out is that he's not, now this is a little bit of speculation, but I'm following what people are saying in and around Trump, including Trump. It looks like he's not going to form a third party, but form a new party inside the Republican Party. And what I mean by that is, like the Tea Party back in 2010, the Tea Party was not a separate party. It was a movement inside the Republican Party. So President Trump and I think this is a great idea and much better than having a third party. And I hope that he really goes through with it in this particular way. What he's talking about doing are primarying these rhino traitors out of office and putting up Republicans that are Patriot Party Republicans to replace them. So the Patriot Party won't be a third party. It'll be a movement inside the Republican Party. And they can register as Patriot Party if they want, if that's what they want to call themselves. I mean, look at AOC and Bernie Sanders are not Democrats. They're Democratic Socialists, right? They're Democratic Socialists. So that's kind of what President Trump, it looks like he is doing inside the Republican Party. And, President Trump, this is, I tell you, he is such a smart guy. What President Trump is beyond anything, beyond a builder, beyond a great, he's a marketer. His business that he's in, it's building and golf courses and resorts and hotels, but it's really marketing and branding more than anything else. And he is looking to bring in real Republicans, real conservatives, MAGA people into the Republican Party and rebrand the Republican Party. And once they do that, they very well may change the name of the Republican Party to the Patriot Party. And this is a brilliant and great move. And I think he'll be pretty successful with it. They have said that the Trump organization has said that Florida is the epicenter of the MAGA movement. And that is very true. And it's in the news today that President Trump has opened up the office of the former President Trump right here in Palm Beach. And that will be the headquarters for everything he is going to do. And that is spectacular. I cannot wait for him to start backing some of these candidates. And if you think about it, since he's for the midterms, this goes very well for President Trump making a comeback to be the 47th president of the United States in 2024. If he does what he says he's going to do, and he is successful in primarying out Republicans with these new Patriot Party Trumplicans and reshaping the Republican Party within, and he has a good run in the midterm elections, right after the midterms is when the presidential season starts. And now again, the only question is, would he be 47th or 48th? Because if Biden were to resign and Kamala became president, you know what I mean? But this is phenomenal. This is amazing that it's going to come down this way. And there's been a change. No one's put these two together in the way that the Senate trial is going. You may have seen in the news today that Patrick Leahy, real piece of work, that he's going to oversee the Senate trial in the second impeachment as opposed to the Chief Justice. But if you remember, a week ago, they were saying that the impeachment trial was going to be presided over by Kamala Harris. And some people were talking, some of the pundits were talking, well, wait a minute, how can she preside over a trial for the person that right now looks to be the person she's going to be running against in 2024, because nobody thinks Biden would run again, no matter what happens, right? And now we find out that Leahy, not Kamala Harris, is going to be presiding over the trial. They still expect Trump to run in 2024. And I know Biden and others are saying they don't have the votes for him to be convicted. And I get that. But they're still going to pass probably a resolution forbidding him from running for federal office again. And I did mention this on the show yesterday early on. I don't know if we talked about it later in the show. Alan Dershowitz said that they don't have the authority to do that because he's currently a private citizen. And that if the Senate comes out with some vote that says that he cannot hold federal office in the future, that he should ignore it and immediately run. And that is probably where he's going to go. But I'll tell you, talking about this new patriot movement inside the Republican Party, that is brilliant, brilliant thinking. Because obviously, if President Trump formed a third party, a lot of us would join it in a heartbeat. But when it comes to a third party, you have to assume that the third party is a losing party, right? I mean, you don't expect to win as a third party. There's not the infrastructure. There's a lot of problems. You'd be splitting the Republican vote, et cetera, et cetera. That's how Clinton got elected, with Perot splitting the Republican vote. And this move that Trump's talking about inside the Republican Party is brilliant, just incredibly brilliant, and it's a winning move. And it'll be the path to bring him back. All right, now listen, our number 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. I want to remind everyone again about MyPillow. You know, Valentine's Day, just a couple weeks away. And there is no better Valentine's Day gift than these great, great products from MyPillow. The MyPillow bathrobes, use the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, 30% off. They come in multiple colors. I have one. I wore it during the show on Friday. If you were watching on YouTube, you saw it. It is comfortable. It's just a beautiful robe. I washed it when I went home because I had it out here at the radio station. And I washed it, I dried it, and I put it on, and it's just as soft and as comfortable as it was when I took it out of the package. 30% off with the promo code KANE. I got one for myself, one for my wife. Great Valentine's Day gift. Buy one for your Valentine and one for yourself as well. And don't forget those MyPillow 100% Giza Cotton Dream Sheets. 30% off with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout. And they come in many different colors. All right? Okay, now a couple other things I wanted to touch on. This is unrelated to the, well, I don't think I'll get into that. Maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow. Yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow. But, you know, listen, this impeachment trial, it's happening. And, you know, when I was talking about Brandon Straka at the beginning of the show, you know, everything that's going on right now so far as the Capitol breach is about the impeachment trial. You know, they're keeping the troops in D.C. until March, right? And that would include the fencing, even though they don't need them. There was not one incident during the inauguration, and there has not been an incident since. No violence, nothing. Nothing. And the reason that they're keeping the soldiers there, and the reason they're keeping the fencing up, is they want that visual to be going on in D.C. during the trial of President Trump, during the impeachment trial, which is an unlawful trial according to Alan Dershowitz. They want to keep the illusion that there's fear, that there's a threat, that the MAGA people are coming, okay? And that's why, that's the only reason they're keeping these soldiers there. And not only that, we're going to see more high-profile arrests from the breach as we build up to what's going on in the impeachment trial, because they want to have these high-profile arrests. They want them talked about in the news so that they can connect as many of them to Trump as possible. And Brandon Straka, sadly, has a Trump connection. All right, let's take some more calls. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE 1. You're on the air. Good morning. Oh, Liberal Al, how you doing?
I love your last 10 minutes describing the future division in the Republican Party, the Patriot Party, like the Tea Party. I like that little analogy because the Trump virus is going to split that party in two. And instead of picking up 10 or 20 seats in 2 years, we'll probably pick up...
As opposed to doing what you're doing, which is talk about things we don't know in the future, why don't you talk about what's going on now?
What's going on now is they got 2 weeks to prepare a case that, even if it falls short, even if it only gets 60 or 61, 62 senators, they have the option
Can't get this open.
to come back and pull a censor vote.
Yeah. For what? For what? Why is he being put on trial? And if it's lawful, why is the Chief Justice not going to take part in it?
Well, several weeks before the insurrection, he was...
The insurrection?
You don't recognize that it was an insurrection?
No, it was not an insurrection. I mean, it was a mob, and they were criminals, but no, they were not. I don't think they were trying to overthrow the government. I don't think that. But you know, go ahead.
Maybe you're in an alternate...
Well, what I want to know is how is that Trump's responsibility? Is what I want to know, because he's being put on trial for it.
His tweet.
Who was the first person to breach the Capitol?
The name of the person? You can use that Shaman guy.
Well, no, I don't know. See, that's the thing, and there's cameras everywhere, right? Because it's the capital of the United States. Before you can put someone on trial and hold them responsible for the event, you must first have an investigation to determine why it happened and who started it, right? And identifying the first people that were involved in the breach would give us... It probably doesn't make sense to you.
You know something? Your interpretation is a warped interpretation.
Well, no. If you know who the first couple of people to break down the door and burst in were, it's important to know who they were, why they were there, what their political affiliations are, and what their motivation was to do it. I've taken a tour of the Capitol. Means nothing. All right, appreciate the call. All right, listen, 45 minutes after the hour, we'll take our last break of the day and come back with the Gold Report right after this. Do not go anywhere.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone.
Steve Kane Show.
Prices that absolutely can't be beat.
Hold on.
Steve Kane's tires.
Steve Kane Show.
Van. At the other shops, $175
Hello?
a tire. At Friendly Tire, just
Hold on.
$75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search.
All right, we are back, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman with this morning's Gold Report. William Youngerman, good morning.
Morning, Brian. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you and the metals doing?
I'm doing great, and the metals are doing great also. The metals still building a very strong base. Gold around $1,850, silver around $25, platinum just above, just below that $1,100 number. That's where we've been holding for quite a while now. You saw gold close up 70 cents yesterday after having been higher, but closing up on the day, 70 cents at $1,856.20 the ounce. Silver was down 13 cents at $25.35. Platinum was down $2 at $1,093. and palladium closed down $30 at $2,268 the ounce. This morning we've got gold up $3.80 right now. That's at $1,860.
This is what someone sent me. Look at this.
Up 25 cents at $25.
Somebody just sent me this. Can you see it?
$7 at $1,100, and palladium is unchanged.
And then on the back,
$2,268. So the metals are holding. Again, consolidation is very
pretty cool, isn't it?
These numbers, so
it says
we should see when we break out a pretty big move, and I'm guessing that it's going to be to the upside, given the financial, political, economic conditions that the world is in.
Scott, $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Since parlors, shouldn't Twitter be investing? Yes, correct. You're right, Scott. Absolutely.
And if that continues to go lower, we're going to see gold push to new highs.
Now we're just a couple weeks away from Valentine's Day. What kind of items do you have over there that would make great Valentine's Day gifts for both men and women?
We have wonderful rings, chains, bracelets, some watches. Our watches go out almost as quick as they come in because everybody knows that we sell them very reasonable. But you got to get on almost a wait list for some of that. But the lots of gold jewelry, lots of sterling jewelry, everything you can imagine in the way of beautiful jewelry.
Yeah, basically metal prices, which means you can buy watches and jewelry far above what your budget may normally allow because you're getting a lot more value for your money since you don't get all those add-ons those jewelry shops put on. Now listen, William Youngerman's is open weekdays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. They're located right here in Boca, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road on the first floor of the Bank of America building. Their website is williamyoungerman.com, or just give them a call, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow. That's right. All right, take care. That's a very important point. All right. Okay, you back with us, Steve? Okay, all right, let's go back to our phones. 1-888-GO Kane 1. You're on the radio. Good morning. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Yes, you're on the air. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Marie in Missouri, and I want to join the chat, but all I have right now is YouTube. I don't have a computer or anything, so I can't chat. I appointed Trump for this time.
Oh, he's draining the swamp. That's why they're so upset. You know, they're so worried, Steve. You know, there's some senators, they're trying to pass a resolution to make the impeachment guilty, not guilty vote a secret vote, so that we don't know which Republicans vote to convict. That's not going to fly, but the fact that they're trying to do that is outrageous.
What I think is going to happen is we already know who the traitors and the rhinos are anyway. They've already proved them.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, listen, welcome to the show. And you watch us on YouTube. What do you watch on a phone? What kind of device do you use? Oh, you can't get on the chat room on Xbox. You watch it on Xbox. Okay. I don't think you can do the chat on Xbox One. But that's okay. Hey, listen, welcome to the show, and thanks for calling. You're on the radio. Good morning. Good morning, caller. Go ahead.
Good. Hey, do y'all believe that?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, and when you know, I remember when Newsom first became governor. This is crazy, you know. Newsom, who's very terrified. That's why he's opening up California now. They almost have enough signatures to recall him, so he's panicked. So he's opening up California, and this, what I'm about to tell you, is not a joke. One of the first things Newsom did when he became governor was fly to Guatemala to meet with Guatemalans down there. Why would the governor of California be flying to Guatemala? I've never heard of such a thing. So it answers the last question of that caller. The answer is yes. But you know, I'll tell you, have you talked to your sister lately about California, Steve?
Talked, but not much about California.
Well, she's not upset that they've been locked down for a year? They're not locked down where she lives? But they're still locked down, aren't they? She's not locked down? Oh.
You know, if you get far enough out of the...
Oh, so she's lucky. But as soon as you know, Newsom thought he was going to get recalled, he's starting to open up California now. And you notice, like, yeah, and right after the election is over, Michigan's opening up for restaurants now. You can go to a restaurant in Michigan starting this week and eat again. I mean, you know, this, you know, the way...
appetite by now.
Well, and they're... Well, or they're at least having cabin fever. I mean, you know, people have been locked up in their houses for a year, and I got to tell you, it's got to piss them off that with no explanation, they're finally getting reopened. The numbers are still the same. Nothing's changed. The only thing that's changed is the recall in the inauguration. You know, there's been no major change. Hey, all right, now it's time to check in with Richard Pearl, whose show comes on immediately following the Steve Kane Show every weekday at 9 a.m. on this radio station. Richard Pearl on politics. Hey, Richard Pearl.
Hello.
Hey, Richard. You're on the air. What do you have planned for us today on your show? What do you have planned for your show in a few minutes?
We're going to talk about some, obviously, with the shutdowns. They're cutting all the shutdowns. Some of the things I predicted actually before, just after Biden got elected, I said the shutdowns would be over somewhere between January and February, and also that Taiwan would be attacked by China sometime this year. And already you see China planes going into Taiwan space.
Mm-hmm.
Things running pretty accurately on that. The actual cases around the country have dropped, and the coronavirus is down 34% in the last 2 weeks. And it's not because of the vaccine, but it's because we have herd immunity. And they're also changing the PCR testing method. So there's a...
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about some of the dangers of this vaccine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, really? Mm-hmm. You're a jack of all trades, Richard Pearl. I tell you, you got a lot of things going on. Now, listen, Richard Pearl, his radio show follows us every weekday at 9 a.m. right here on this radio station, no matter what radio station you're listening to us on. Stay tuned in. Richard Pearl comes up immediately following us. And if you're listening on iHeartRadio or the TuneIn app, you can pick his show up there. His store, Simply Natural, where Steve and I go for all of our nutraceuticals, is located in the city of Sunrise, just north of Sunset Strip on the east side of University. And they're open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. till 9 p.m. And the phone number over there is 954-741-4045. 954-741-4045. All right, Richard Pearl, have a great show. I'll be tuned in, and we'll talk tomorrow. All right, take care. All right, Steve, we're winding down. You want to say goodbye for us?
Well, okay. Another great one in the can, and we'll be back tomorrow to do it all over again on behalf of my son and technical director Tyler Kane. I'm Steve Kane, along with my partner Brian Craig. May God bless America. This is Steve Kane, and I wanted to share with you some thoughts about why I chose the gardens of Boca Raton.
All right, guys, that's it for us today. Now, listen, if you're new here, please make sure you subscribe, click that notification bell. We're here live weekdays on the radio. We stream on YouTube, taking your calls while we're on the radio. But I upload a lot of other content here, too. I upload my podcast that I do with my wife, Kathy, here. I do live streams during the week and on the weekends here at my studio at home, apart from the radio show. And I upload other videos here as well. So make sure you're subscribed. You click that notification bell. And thanks, everyone, for watching, all right? I will see you all later. Take care.
In your time of